Hello there, welcome back. I was on mute again as per usual. Welcome back to Random Show, episode number 91, part 2, part 2 of the previous stream. If you were here before, you should seen all the madness and all the blessings and stuff and all the hype. So I'm back again as I promised I would be, because United won. So United beat Fulham 3-1 at home. It was a very tense game. We were on our way out, obviously, but 1 minute or and a half of madness from Fulham, and then suddenly the game changes in an instance. It's kind of like life, isn't it? Life can be going along smoothly. You could be having a great time, and then all it takes is one occasion, one crazy misstep, one madness thing that happens out of the blue, and then suddenly your whole life has gone upside down, topsy-turvy, and you have no idea how you got there. But deep down you actually know, because you kind of did it yourself. So this happens all the time in life. So yeah, that wasn't a big surprise, but it was nice nonetheless to see my team coming back, having some fortitude, having some resilience, being able to stick it, stick in there, hang in there for the most part, especially because, against Fulham, I personally think we're a second fiddle. They definitely deserve to have the lead and probably deserve to win the game. But hey, in this life, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you take. And what we took was that victory. Here we are. Anyways, we've got so many things to run through. I don't want to waste a lot of time dillying and dallying, but I do want to touch upon this because we kind of ended the previous stream on this. So I decided in my era to kind of quickly check on the Reddit and see what's happening on the Reddit. What's the latest things going on the subreddit? And it legitimately feels like the subreddit is like the infighting has been on another level. People essentially disowning each other, saying they're not part of the group. They're just here for the jokes, here for the podcast. It's absolutely going crazy. Things have really, really changed. And I saw this video. I'm like, oh my God, please tell me this is fake. And for some reason, I think I was scrolling the Reddit earlier and I didn't want to check it, but I saw I saw what I'm going to show you now, right? I saw the kind of the clip or the highlight of what's on look, and I think, or maybe sorry, the cover, the screen cap, whatever it's called. And at first I thought it was a troll. I legit thought it was somebody did this on Photoshop, like someone's got some good Photoshop, flipping skills, and they're able to composite this image together. Then they had a play button, and I was like, no way, there's a play button. There's an actual video of this, and here's the video. This video is legitimately one of the most hilarious things I've seen all day. But it's also funny because of the person that it involves. And as you know, it's the big old BGL. This is allegedly BGL going through some type of domestic dispute. But look at the madness here. What's pictured, I guess, is his wife or maybe soon to be ex-wife. And that's BGL there in the back window. And look what he does as narrated by the wife. Look what he's doing as narrated by the wife.
He's in front of my car. He's touching my car now. He's picking up my car. He's picking up my car. As you can see, he's picking up my car. He doesn't let me go. Now he hit it.
Is it re-wheeled? Is it a re-wheeled car? Is that why? This car doesn't have it's not it's not front rear drive. Fucking hell. The guy's an animal. It's like something out of Jurassic Park. He's picking up cars and launching them. This is like this is like not even Jurassic Park. What is it? This is like reminds me of what was it? Oh, what was that movie I saw? And it said, oh, you used a car. What was it recently? Oh, that's it. It was Star Trek Picard. In the episode of Star Trek Picard, I think maybe episode 3 or 4, there's a scene, again, I'm spoiling it, I know, I'm sorry, but there's a scene in Star Trek Picard where where the main starship kind of has a beam that's able to hold on, I don't know, it's some technology that can latch onto stuff. So on Star Trek Picard, he beams onto an asteroid and then throws it into the and then chucks it at the other spaceship that they're basically fighting. And obviously it's a bit of a dumb move, but it's just, it's kind of fun to look at. This is like the human version of it. But God almighty, man, how is he able to flip in What is she driving? Like a Nissan Micra? Like, what is it? Is it like a Ford? I don't know. What's a small Ford car? Is it a Fiesta or something? Is it a Vauxhall Corsa? Like, what is going on here? Yeah, what's happening, Matthew? Like, what's happening here? Like, how's he able to lift his car up, and how's she not able to drive it? She's pressing the accelerator, and the car's just spinning in the air as he's holding it up, like a villain from a Bond movie or something. Yeah, actually, wasn't that villain in Bond movie? Did it? Do you remember? Or am I bugging out? Am I bugging out, or is that true? I swear, there was a guy in a Bond movie. Villain, Bond movie, lifts car. Do you remember this? Or not cat, car. I swear there's a guy that lifts a car up. Or am I going crazy? I swear there's a guy who lifts a car. Or am I going crazy? Let's see if I've got this person here. If it's right. Please be right. Please be a good reference. Yeah, this is the guy, isn't it? Him, yeah? Or people saying, yeah, I swear he lifts a car in the movie. I swear he like lifts it and the wheels are spinning. It's like a scene that I got it in my head. He picks a car up and it just starts spinning. Okay, no one's got a screen grab of it, it looks like. Jaws. Everyone's saying Jaws, Jaws, Jaws. But yeah. Holy shit. PGL's a fucking psycho. I swear to God.
He doesn't let me.
He's even more crazy than we thought he would be. We all thought he was flipping crazy, but he's even more crazy than we thought he'd be. Oh my God, man.
He doesn't let me go. He doesn't let me the fuck go. He doesn't let me go. He's attacking me. He's attacking me. He's attacking me.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, why didn't she just drive off and like run over him? But she's reversing. So she's backed up and this is the road behind her, right? I guess that's what's happening. So BGO is out in public, lifting her car up while she's trying to reverse out to go away from him. Okay, there's nowhere else to go. She's attacking me. He's attacking me. Let's say that again.
He's attacking me. Attacking me. He's attacking me. Doesn't let me go. He's attacking me. He's attacking me.
Why are they doing this online? Honestly, she's not a public figure. The public. He's attacking me. He's attacking. Oh, to be fair, I don't know what the rules are in LA, but if she's with this dude, she should have bought a gun a long time ago. If she knew how he rages and he gets into road rage or whatever, she should have went out and bought like a legit gun. She should have got a gun license ASAP. I don't know why, you know, she was playing with fire and, you know, just trying to, I don't know, go through normal domestic disputes with this guy, because if he's strong enough to lift the car up, then, you know, she doesn't stand a chance. You know what I mean? Her little flipping OnlyFans body is not going to stand a chance against this guy.
He's attacking me.
What? What happened?
He just did this.
I thought, she's so dramatic. I thought he legitimately smashed the entire windscreen. He just hit the freaking side mirror. Honestly, look at her face. I thought he legitimately put his whole hand through the front windscreen. But what did he do? What happened?
He just did this.
Okay, just the side mirror. But I don't know. Anyway, not just side. To be fair, not to take back some of my LOLs, it is a pretty traumatic experience. Yeah, especially when you're in the car. I think someone left me a comment because I said before, in a previous stream, I didn't understand why some people get so annoyed and get so upset when somebody flips them off in the car. But then somebody very accurately put it in the comments, said, hey, you're traveling at really fast speeds. You're in this, you know, fragile flipping shell. Any slight crash or whatever could send you hurtling there, could send you to your death. So you're just more on edge in the car than you would be walking around. So sometimes when someone flips you off, it can just send you up, it can just tick you off and flow you off the handle. No problem, I get that. And I can imagine being a lady and being in a violent relationship, allegedly, or physical relationship, a physically abusive relationship, allegedly, what she's assuming, what she's basically alleging to him. I can imagine how scary it must be to get in your car and then have this guy lifting it from the back, holding you in position, kicking it, punching it and shit as you're going by, it's probably distressing, especially when you can see a look in his eye that he's gone. I'm sure most women have seen that look in a guy's eye when he snapped and he's not all there behind, you know, there's nothing behind his eyes effectively. So I can definitely understand that. But oh my God, man, this legitimately, yeah, I might have to screen, just good point. I might have to screenshot this for my flipping, for my cover art for the actual episode, because this is flipping perfect, honestly. Like, this legitimately is maybe one of the most perfect things I've seen in my entire adult life. I legitimately saw this before on the Reddit and thought it was just somebody do the Photoshop. Then I saw the video. I was like, oh my God, this is real. This is absolutely real. This is insane. Like, one more time.
He's in front of my car. He's touching my car now. He's...
You know what's really interesting too? He's lifting the car up and his hair's really like in good condition. His hair's always done very well, despite him, you know, being a bit of a douchebag, you know, and being a guy that kind of sucks. His hair is still on point.
Picking up my car. He's picking up my car. As you can see, he's picking up my car.
He's sending the alarm. He's sending. I didn't even notice the alarms. He's triggering the alarms. Do you used to do it as a kid? When I was a kid, you used to sometimes kick the cars or like barge them and all the alarms go off. Or you walk down the street and you push every single car until the alarms went off and you try and run away. He's kind of doing that like in an adult way, in an adult abusive way.
Doesn't let me go. You know he hit it.
Look. There's a part here where she was considering going fully in and running him over. Yeah, like there was that. She had that bit of a little bit of an inch in her face. Look, there was a little bit of glee in her face. She's just thinking, you know what? If you continue, there you go. If you continue, I'm gonna run your little Mufasa head over with this little Nissan Micra. Look, she was considering it. She was considering just pressing down on the accelerator and just saying goodbye, BGL. But, you know, as most women are, she's very forgiving. In that moment of psychosis, she was forgiving and said, you know what? I'm going to let you live. And she just relaxed and didn't go with it. But I got a feeling her foot was on the pedal. She was really about to lay it down and be, you know what? You dead. Look at BGL kicking the car with his little size 8 feet.
You know he hit it.
Right, left, right, left.
He doesn't let me go. He doesn't let me the fuck go. He doesn't let me go. He's attacking
Jesus
me.
Christ.
He's attacking me. He's attacking me. He just did this.
And also, there's no way I can't believe that he's abusive. That's the issue. There's no way. And I think in the earlier stream I said, oh, it could be two sides to, you know, there's, yeah, he is saying surrounding me over, there's like two sides to this story. I'm sorry, there's only one side to the story. If this guy is doing this in broad daylight in what looks like a densely packed residential area, and again, I'm just looking at it from the video, but it's very far, but from what I can see here, this little bit there looks like another door. So they live like in a place that's kind of, you know, jam-packed. Probably people's balconies are overlooking where they are at in terms of a car park in there. So it's a pretty public area. The way Mufasa looks like, I'm pretty sure all his neighbors know who he is, right? And Mufasa and his girl. So they're probably well known in an area. So if he's doing this out in public, it's either he lives in an area where everybody hits their wives, or he's probably been seen before and he doesn't give a fuck. So imagine what he must be doing when they're at home alone. Just imagine what he's doing when they're home alone in their apartment, what goes on. God damn it, bruv. Especially if she's out here taking pictures with Luke Rockhold to get back at him, which is an epic burn, to be fair. He goes and hooks up with some, you know, with some flipping lot lizard, right? With some comedy bunny. And then she goes and flipping shucks up allegedly with Luke Rockhold. That's a good way to get back at somebody. Honestly, I can't believe you people are married. Oh my God, brother. This is absolutely wild.
He's touching my car now. He's picking up my car. He's picking up my car. As you can see, he's picking up my car.
What kind of workout plan is this? Yeah, Uche said, yeah, Luke Rockhold's not a bad rebound. Let me tell you exactly. Luke Rockhold, as Chris DeStefano said, is a piece. He is a piece. That guy is tidy. Do you know what I mean? He may not, he's not going to give you good banter. He's not going to, be worldly or cultured. But, if you just want a good bit of arm candy and somebody that could legitimately kill all your ex-boyfriends, then Luke Rockhole's definitely up there. Let's say that for sure. And, something tells me he's got a cock on him as well. Just something tells me about this quiet confidence that he's fucking just, he's operating, he's fine. He's in a good position.
He doesn't let me go. He hit it. He doesn't let me go. He doesn't let me the fuck.
He doesn't let me go. I shouldn't laugh. He doesn't let me go. Now he's lifting the car. Now the car is on top of the building. He doesn't let me go. He's pushing me now. Now I'm underneath the car and he's driving the car. Oh no, I'm dying. Like, she'll be recording the entire thing on her iPhone. Like, woman, put the phone down and call the police. Hey, Story to Tell, big up, man. Thanks for the $5 super chat.
He looks like a vampire trying to get some blood in the daylight.
Yeah, true. That's, oh my God. Story to Tell. Great observation. This is like a scene out of Castlevania, mate. I actually watched the cartoon the other day on flipping Netflix. Really good. This is like a scene out of, yeah, this is definitely it. This is Castlevania shit. I'm just imagining BGL doing all this and then going back home and replying and and sending people flipping nutrition plans via the DMs. Like, just a negative fucking, just a guy that doesn't have a clue, and it just all this, like, I said already from before when he was going on his flipping Brendan's Bad press tour, he was doing nothing to capitalize. He was just sitting on other people's shows, just talking and talking. Now we understand why he was on these shows talking so much. He didn't want to be at home. That's probably why he shares so much in common with these comedians. He didn't want to go home because he didn't want to have to deal with this, or he was afraid what he might do if he saw her face again or something. He doesn't want to let me go. He doesn't let me go.
He doesn't let me go. He doesn't let me the fuck go. He doesn't let me go. He's attacking me. He's attacking me. He's attacking me.
Oh, he turned around.
He just.
It's bent. The side mirror is bent. Like, I don't know. I was waiting to see something like more grandiose. Okay. Anyway, man. He doesn't let me go. This lit. Oh shit, man. Oh, PGR's a fucking loser, man. Honestly, fucking loser. He's a fucking loser. He was all up in the Reddits, commenting, going on everyone's shows. Brendan's bad, but here he is at home, fucking beating his wife, man. One absolute scumbag. One absolute fucking scumbag. Just hopeless. No wonder I had that visceral reaction. That's what I'm saying to. I didn't say to everybody. Coiler, define not letting you go. Define not letting you go is obviously a good number. Oh shit. Now I understand two folds. One thing that Brendan said in passing, which I think was a sly little dig at flipping BGL on the George Janko show, when he said, "Oh, a lot of my friends were telling me that I should have ditched him. Like, I shouldn't have been his friend. They should have, like, he's bad news." But I think they knew that because they all are him, right? So, like, I think douchebags recognize douchebags, but they also know how to keep it in check. So they're like, you know what? He's going to end up embarrassing you. And to be fair, again, big up the homeless cats, big up the people on the Reddit. They were saying from day dot, BGL was going to have, was going to do something that would embarrass Brendan. Like, he was going to be the cause of his demise in some way, shape, or form. And he has basically been exactly what we hoped he would be and more. He had a little bit of redemption arc when he came back and started to spill the beans, whatever. But if anything, he just confirmed everything that most people knew. But it was nice to kind of get some first-hand information from it. But for the most part, man's always been sus from minute one. And that's why you should always, I think, in life, just trust your gut instinct, especially when it comes to people. Maybe it's nice when people prove you wrong and they like actually turn out to be decent. But usually you can tell when you just see somebody whether or not they're going to be your guy or not. And your guy, your girl, whatever. And I saw him at first, I was like, nah, this doesn't make sense, man. He's a 40-year-old social media manager for someone like Brendan. Like, really? Like all the acting gigs, all the extra stuff, the sudden, you know, change in persona and looks and stuff and build to get more gigs or something, latching on to Bradley Martin at Zoo Culture, all that sort of stuff, like just cringe. And then he's out here saying he went to the fucking San Francisco School of fucking comedy or some shit. Like hilarious guy, man. Like played D4 fucking division football. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I found the guy sus from minute zero anyway. So I'm not fucking surprised that he's turned out the way he is. Yo, sorry to tell. Big up for the $2 super chat, my friend.
They share assault techniques.
Yeah, they do. Oh, thank you, sorry to tell for super chat. I swear to God, man. Oh, I didn't think this BGL arc would end this way. If anything, I just assumed, maybe it's a bad assumption, but I assumed he would have got into a physical altercation with Brendan. That I would assume because they live in LA and they're all clout chasers and they may hang out in the same spots. I just assumed BGL would just turn up somewhere. Oh shit, just thought about that. What happened in the BGL and Brendan break? With the BGL and Brendan Shaw breakup, who got to keep Zoo Culture? Who got to keep Zoo Culture? Does one of them go? Does one of them not go when the other one's there? Have they changed gyms? Like, who gets to keep Zoo Culture? That's a big deal in the divorce between Brendan and flipping BGO. Who keeps Zoo Culture? Whoa, just occurred to me right now. I have no idea. I guess technically Brendan? No, technically BGO. He probably knew Bradley Martin before, didn't he? You would assume so. Because he used to do content there all the time. I wonder who gets to keep it. Shit. But yeah, oh, that was fucking incredible, man. That was legitimately one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life. I swear to God. Beachers out here abusing women and that. What a mad place to be. Anyway, talking about abusing women, we've got this lovely video to check out quickly. Regarding the one, Chris D'Elia, talking about gatekeeping comedy because of that rumor that, what's his name? Tom Brady was trying to get into stand-up, which I think was a troll. But even if it wasn't a troll, I just find it funny how these comedians try and gatekeep comedy. But let's play what he has to say regarding it right now.
It's gonna, you know why it's gonna be fine too, is because Tom Brady has announced he wants to do stand-up. Why do?
Also, someone said in the comments, because I think I was reading through the comments on this original video, and someone said, it's not alcohol he's drinking, it's oranges or something. That's capital word R redacted, to be fair. If he's trying not to drink alcohol, but big up Chris Hutch super chat, bro, friend. Big up.
I swear to God you couldn't make this stuff up. The gift that keeps on giving.
Exactly, Chris Hutch. Honestly, the BGL arc, the way it ended has been superb to see. He started off as a joke. He's in there in the bushes, holding flipping drinks in the flipping bushes. Then he tells us he wasn't actually in the bushes. He was standing next to it. I was like, okay, guy, whatever. Then he comes back and redeems himself because he wants to expose Brendan for stealing his alleged 15K, which he's never going to get, by the way. And now it transpires that all the stuff that he accused Brendan of, he's worse. He just has no money. All right? He has no money. He has no Porsche. He has no Balenciagas, but he's basically the same guy. And my theory about him has been proven to be right. From the minute zero, I said, this just seems like a guy who got close to, what's Brendan Shaw's favorite phrase he says? Yeah, BGO got close to where the stew is made. He saw how the sausage was made, and he was like, hold on, you're a multi-millionaire and you're absolutely dumb as bricks. And he immediately got bitter, immediately got jealous, and he immediately thought, why don't I have this? And that basically was a, deep lying, contempt he had for the guy. And then as soon as Brendan does something to confirm how much of a dick he thinks he is, he flew off the handle. That's my opinion. He kind of wanted to be Brendan, but he never could. And then when Brendan scummed him over, he obviously tried to scum him back in a weird way. So I've been calling it from minute zero. But hey, I don't take no credit from it because I'm not Aristotle, or am I? Anyway, yeah, so Chris D'Elia is out here pretending to drink alcohol when it's actually, what someone said it was, what is it, fruit punch or something? But I find that quite redacted, honestly. Like drinking a juice, like from a flipping whiskey glass with ice in it, it's kind of R-worded.
Look, if you're the greatest football player of all time, or if you're a football player, after that, only either be an announcer or open up some sort of warehouse that sells suits. right? That's it. Or have a restaurant, maybe, even though that's kind of annoying, but use your name for something. Dude, stand-up comedy. Why do people think, and I'm not one of those guys that thinks that, oh, great, Tom Brady's doing stand-up. This is the death of stand-up comedy. Dude, I don't care about that. The whole hip-hop is dead thing is stupid, right? Hip-hop is real. It's just not what's getting the clicks, which is fine. I mean, there's still Nas out there doing that thing, but it's like, you know, Papoose isn't really around anymore, and he was true hip-hop. I got a fitted hat on my head. A fitted hat on my head. What was that?
I love how white guys like Chris D'Elia have like the worst opinions of music. Like, he's listening to Papoose in 2023.
I got my hater blockers on, block them out. I got my haters. He was real hip hop, dude, Papoose. What happened to him, man? Oh, I loved that song. Anyway, so, but yeah, I'm real hip hop. I bleed hip hop. But so, Tom Brady has announced he wants to do stand up. He's not doing sports anymore. He wants to focus on his stand up career, which is hilarious. That'd be like think about how silly that sounds. If I was just all of a sudden like, dude, I really want to focus on my architect career. I don't have one. Tom Brady throws footballs and you don't have one. To be like, yeah, I really want to focus. I want to focus on my chef career, honestly. Oh, I don't cook, dude. He did it 0 times. Career. I don't know why people get so successful in their thing and then want to do something.
Okay, so a couple of points here. I love how he's saying he just throws the football as if throwing a football is less impressive than get up on stage and telling jokes. Hilarious. When actually the odds of becoming a professional athlete in any sport, let alone a quarterback, let alone one of the greatest ever of all time, is super, super small, even more so than flipping stand-up comedy. So that's one thing. But I just find the notion that somehow comedy is like this hallowed industry or occupation hilarious. Because I have a bit of a hot take here. I think in the past, people were maybe more intimidated with stand-up comedy and like being, oh my God, I could never get on stage. I could never do that. But I feel like nowadays, not so much. People are performing all the time. I'm performing on live stream. People perform on their social medias, on TikTok, on Instagram and stuff. The idea of getting in front of a camera is probably just as scary as getting in front of people in a real space, in a crowd, right? A crowd of people. So if you're able to get over that fear of moving from the camera to the stage, it should be pretty easy. For the most part, most of these big TikTok kids who become successful, maybe they're not the greatest minds in the world, but you don't see them looking awkward in front of the camera. They usually know how to act because they've been in front of it all their lives. Maybe the TV ones are bigger, maybe the audiences get bigger, but they become a bit adapted to it. My hot take here is that the GRE Extended Universe group of guys, although they helped to maybe make stand-up comedy to be more mainstream and maybe a bit more popular in terms of regular average folks like liking podcasts and then going to watch them perform, they have actually damaged the artistry and the kind of hallowed nature that stand-up once was, because everyone now looks at those guys. You hear someone like a Bert Kreischer talking on a podcast, all these type of dudes, and they think to themselves, if you can make millions of dollars doing this shit, I can do this too, because you're so terrible. So those guys being terrible or being quite subjective in the way that or their comedy being quite subjective in that there's no real overall consensus. Like some people like this, some people don't like that. Like, it's just hard to kind of judge what is good or not. That's what's made people actually want to try it out, because it doesn't look hard. That's why. All these comedians that get cancelled, what's his name? The guy from Entourage and stuff, right? All those people that get cancelled and then they run back to stand-up comedy. Why'd they do it? Because they know if you're a decent enough actor, you should probably be able to put together a decent 5 minutes, 10, 20, and go up that way. It shouldn't be too difficult. And you can always ride your celebrity, train or your celebrity hype, to get you more gigs and get you more recognition at all waits of time. So I find the idea that these guys are like looking down upon actors or anybody else, professional athletes, are trying to get into the craft, to find it hilarious because they've actually damaged it. People now look at it and think, you know what, it's easy. If that guy can do it, I can do it too. And most of them are being proven right. So, I get, because you do it and you're a bit protective about it, but also, you're lucky to have a career when it comes to flipping Chris D'Elia. Do you know what I mean? In a flipping fair and just world, he might be somewhere in cuffs somewhere. but he's not. He's out here thriving. So let's just relax, count our blessings, and stop, getting pissy because Tom Brady wants to come in and, maybe have a bigger influence on the game than maybe you had. Who knows? But hey, let's move on. So after that, I would touch upon this because this topic really, really got my gears going. So Bert Kreischer was again doing his podcast tour, and he ended up to stop at flipping Whitney Cummings' podcast, and they ended up sitting down and talking, and a real interesting soundbite went kind of viral where Whitney Cummings, without mentioning names, basically says how for the longest time during the pandemic she was, I guess, somewhat depressed or down or whatnot, or not liking life because she had to come out and publicly chastise or distance herself from Crystalia, who used to be her best, one of her closest friends. They did Whitney together, the show, and just, were always in each other's podcasts and whatnot, so it is what it is. So she had to publicly denounce him, and she said that was the hardest time of her life or something along those kind of lines. Anyway, the clip is kind of short, but I wanted to play the whole thing to get some context because I wanted to understand where that point came from, because it did seem weirdly self-absorbed that she turned an issue that happened with Chris into everything about her. But hey, I guess that's Whitney Cummings' MO in it. So let's play this video clearly here and see what the vibe is saying here. Bear me a second as I get it up on here. Which is Bert Kreischer on Whitney Cummings' podcast.
Would never let a guy do that to you. And I was like, yeah, but comedy, LA's different. LA's different. And I know that there was a guy named, his name was Rick, I think. He was friends with Gary Goldman. An agent said something foul to a girl, and he slapped the agent in the face, and they banned him from the Improv, and the guy quit doing comedy, and I think he's a social worker in Baltimore now.
He defended the
girl, and the agent was more powerful. And he slapped the agent in the face or punched the agent, whatever he did. He did
because you know what, the girl would have had to laugh. So it's like, to me,
you know what's funny? But again, she mentioned that story and then she immediately makes it back.
I talked about this.
You gotta love Whitney Cummings, man. He shares a pretty decent.
You don't remember?
Oh my god!
I talked about this. You don't remember who I was talking about it the other day because.
Anyway, he shares a pretty, chilling story that, if anything, in my opinion, what I think happened there is that what's up? This is more of an issue. If that story, what thing he's saying is true, if what Bert Kreischer is saying his story is true about some guy, comedian, slapping some agent because he disrespected a woman in front of him, if that's true, what this says is that it says more about the culture, more about the community itself, stand up in the industry. That one person didn't defend that guy and stand up for him. So they basically allowed him to get blackballed. And then, the worst thing ever happened to him where he had to quit and do a regular. See how Bert said it? He's now working as a social worker. He might as well be in the gulags. Like, who would want to do that? Who'd want to work in social care, in social work, like, voluntarily? A lot of people, actually. Like, people don't just, end up working in social care usually because they just want to make some money. It has to be some level of a vocation to be able to do that sort of stuff day in, day out. So I just found that a little bit hilarious. And obviously Whitney Cummings making it all about herself is sweet.
All this stuff is, my parents mom died and I had to be in the Stockholm syndrome of denial, and my sister's back in my life. And it's like, I'm getting a lot of these memories are coming back that I had
what was that?
Repress the things I had to repress back in my life. And it's like, I'm getting a lot.
Yeah. What the fuck was that?
A lot of these memories are coming back. Syndrome of denial, and my sister's back in my life, and it's like I'm getting a lot of these memories are.
Honestly, right? To be, no, I'm not gonna. This is
coming back that I had to repress the things I had to repress to keep going in comedy.
Yeah.
Not complaining, not coming forward. Don't want anyone to pity me ever. But I remember there was a manager at the Phoenix whatever fucking thing.
Keep going. I know his name.
Yep. Smacked me on the ass so hard.
Yep, he's dead now, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah, keep going.
And then for me, I'm like, oh, poor guy. Like
for a second.
But that's how conditioned I am to have compassion for abusers, because
Do you hear these people? So you learned in that moment, she learned that whoever this person was slapped on the bum so hard that she needed a wheelchair. Like, she now learned he's dead, and now all of a sudden she uses it as a moment to give herself a fucking hand job. Like, come on, Whitney, mate, leave it out.
I go, oh, well, he didn't know. Hurt people. It wasn't his fault.
Hurt people.
Yeah.
Hurt people.
Yeah, like, whatever. Who gives a shit? It's your job to heal yourself, whatever. I make excuses because otherwise you just can't proceed.
Yeah.
If I didn't make excuses, then I go, what? I can't work with this guy ever again? Like, I need to do, smack me on the ass so hard. I have such a high tolerance for pain. I broke my shoulder snowboarding.
Also, what's with these comedians getting into all these accidents? Like, you tell jokes on stage. You get paid handsomely for it. You get paid handsomely to sit on your ass and do a podcast. Why are they subjecting themselves to all these weird things? And like, is this like a weird kink they have to like appear normal? Like, I broke my shoulder, I broke my ankle. Like, what is that? Like, what is this thing of these guys that don't live a hard life trying to get themselves hurt on purpose? Like, can't you just chill out?
Didn't go to the doctor for 4 days. Couldn't put. I just accommodated it by using front clasp bras instead of ones you pull over because my rotator cuff was torn, and then went to.
You guys accuse me of being on meth and shit. Like, and again, I'm not accusing anyone of doing anything, but God Almighty, bro, she is going. Like, I remember this is the reason why, because I remember I watched a couple episodes of her pod when it first started, but then it got too much. Like, it's just too intense. Like, hearing like her self-talk aloud is just a lot to deal with, right? It's just too much to deal with. Like, she's actually dealing with stuff in real time on the podcast and trying to convince you that she's okay. It's like, I don't know, bro. Maybe you need to take a couple of days off and give your head a wobble. But hey, what do I know?
Get it, and it was fractured all the way through. So it's like, I have a high tolerance for pain. Slapped me on the ass so hard, it burned. Tears started coming down the side, and I started laughing.
So this guy slapped her on the ass so hard, it hurt more than when she broke her arm. And she started laughing. No one's saying it didn't happen, but something is being exaggerated. Did you actually break your arm, or did you sprain your arm?
Because that's the only way to not be humiliated.
I've been there.
Is to have to go like, hi, you crazy. And then I remember there was another comic in the room, and I was like, now do the other side. Like, I had to lean into the humiliation to take the power back.
Oh, yeah.
But then you're training people.
Yeah.
Then whose fault is it the next time he slaps a girl's ass? I'm the one that said this is okay.
So funny. I just had this conversation with someone.
I think he's alluding to the Irish Shaffir, thing.
I'm so proud of myself for in my past having.
I'd love to go through it and just pick up as many words as they say. I, me. This podcast must have been the most self-absorbed podcast in the whole world.
I stood up for myself, although in hindsight.
But we couldn't do it I couldn't do it until very recently, or I wouldn't be able to.
I did it at a way too young of an age. But
so the clip is coming up, where Whitney Cummings tries to basically seek sympathy, elicit sympathy, or feel like a victim and a hero, or as Brenda would say, a hero. She wants to be a victim and a hero at the same time because she stood up and basically called out Chris D'Elia for his past alleged pedophilic behaviors. Allegedly. But it doesn't really make any sense because she didn't really call him out, really. She just, made a statement after being bullied into making one. But anyway, let's play it.
But I would dare to say, and I said this, and I wonder how I feel about this for real.
I wonder how
part of me, I don't wish that I'd never done it, but the headache that comes up with standing up for yourself, because once you stand up for yourself, it's why I respect like I don't know the right thing to say, but I'm gonna use a bad example, but when let's say like an underrepresented person stands up for themselves and says this is
that's Hollywood code for black
bullshit, this shouldn't happen. She was the one that with fucking the judge is still a judge, Clarence Thomas.
Yes.
Clarence Thomas.
Yes.
She stood up and she subjected herself to so much humiliation.
So this is an interesting comparison, right? This comedian guy, Bert Kreischer, is ascribing his humiliation or whatever he's talking about. Maybe the Irish Shaffir incident where he spiked him with MDMA at his house without telling him. Maybe he's talking about some comedian passing him or not giving him the spot. Maybe he's talking about somebody, I don't know, whatever. Something that happened, you know, in his life. He's associating it with this story, which I had to Google, right? Because I didn't know anything about this prior. Then I remember seeing the original video of it online before, where I think Joe Biden's the one that's grilling her, actually. So this is what he's describing what he went through with Irish Shaffir as a kind of example, like for like. In there's allegations of sexual harassment against Clarence Thomas. In 1991, President George W. Bush nominated Clarence Thomas, a federal circuit judge, to succeed retiring associate court. Senate hearings, on the confirmation were initially completed, with Thomas' good character being presented as a primary qualification for the High Court because he'd only been a judge for slightly more than a year. Until a report of a private interview by Hill, FBI leaked to the press, the hearings were reopened and Hill was called publicly to testify. Hill, on October 11th, 1991, in televised hearings, said that Thomas had sexually harassed her while she was a supervisor at the Department of Education, the EEOC. When questioned on why she followed Thomas to her second job after he had been already arrested for her after he had already harassed her, she said working on a reputable position within the rights field had been her ambition. The position was appealing enough to inhibit her from going back into a private practice and in a practice firm, and she said that she only realized later in life that the choice that she represented poor judgment on her part, but at the time it appeared to be a sexual overture that ended it. This was a really monumental case, and if you look at the original video of the hearing, it was crazy because this was like she was essentially getting victim shamed, right? I think that's what you called it. She was basically being called out for her account of what happened. It's something that you don't think you'd ever see nowadays, right? It was really, you can imagine it being a harrowing experience, and even to this day, people still don't believe that she actually went through anything, right? And she just kind of made it up for clout, which is insane. But hey, people do think that. Now, just think about it. They're ascribing this issue, which is, you know, layered, right? So societal, socioeconomic, racial, power, gender, especially around that time, right? Like so many things are really involved in this multi-layered, multifaceted thing, as Brendan would say, that make it really hard to have a real pin on what's wrong, what's bad. Is it the system? Is it the people in the system? Is it how it's organized? Whatever. Loads of things are going crazy. And to this day still, people don't believe it. So comedians, stand-up fucking comedians, right? People who, you know, for the most part pontificate about nonsense are ascribing going through little bouts of inconvenience or trolling or pranks with the plight of somebody like Anita Hill and what she had to go through in 1991. Like, insane to me. But hey, we continue.
So much picking apart, so much tearing apart her reputation. But you are a whore, correct? You are a whore. That I understand. I actually understand her regret in standing up for herself, as well as her pride in standing up for herself.
And here's what I'll say. Yeah, that is so beautifully.
And here's Whitney ascribing what Anita Hill went through to what she went through with Crystalia. Here comes Whitney ascribing what Anita Hill. Sorry, oh my God, I can't speak. Here's Whitney going through and trying to ascribe what happened with Anita Hill to her. Let's see how she makes this connection. Insane.
Put. I know you felt like you were struggling saying that.
Yeah,
it didn't
make sense.
Beautiful. It did, because the first thing I thought was she was dragged publicly, humiliated. But you know what? She sleeps like a baby because
I sleep
she
pretty
has.
Good.
So
I sleep really good.
You know
That's
what?
so funny
Also,
when you talk about
because you're hungover, mate, most of the time.
that one incident.
Look at it overtook
in my
The
life.
reason I'm interrupting is because I'm going to lose the bravery to say this.
Look, we're over interrupting. See? You hear that? We were all over talking each other. You heard how awful that was. Let's do that again one more time. Let me talk at the same time as they are.
I sleep pretty good.
I hate.
I sleep really good.
You know what?
So funny
Also,
when you talk about that one incident.
She looks really like a Bond villain.
The reason I'm interrupting is because I'm going to lose the bravery.
And then she cucks him and she just ups her volume like a school teacher. Can we please have some quiet in the room? Look. She cucks him by just speaking louder. He puts fingers up and she goes up.
You talked about that a couple incidents in my life.
The reason I'm interrupting is because I'm going to lose the bravery to say this.
Go.
Which is I had.
Anyway, look at this. This is I'm the champion because I stood up for Crystalia or because I stood up against him. Let's see.
To publicly come out against one of my best friends about something horrific. Mm-hmm. Not one person stood behind me in the comedy community. Not one, especially women, because they don't want me to succeed. And they
yeah, of course, that's the reason why I didn't stand behind you, because they don't want you to succeed. Or maybe because you are. Oh, honestly, imagine jacking yourself this disregard. They didn't stand behind me because they didn't want me to succeed. Hello, awareness, my old friend. Where have you been? Does she think we don't have the internet? Do you think Whitney Cummings thinks that people don't have the internet? Like, you can't just Google what she said at the time when it happened, or what she didn't say, or like what? Why would you say this, Whitney? Like, we all got Google. We all have flipping, some sort of Googling skills. We can search around and things. Like, this woman is insane.
Would have rather me embarrass myself and get destroyed and be wrong than support the thing they had all pretended they were.
Higher comedy.
Destroyed and be wrong than support the thing they had all pretended.
Higher comedy.
They were fighting for, than me win. I took a huge ding. It emotionally.
Oh, look, that rhymes.
Then me win.
Then we win.
I took a huge ding. It emotionally broke me.
She's trying to cry, but tears ain't coming out.
For everyone who asks, what happened to Whitney during the pandemic? That's what happened.
So she's saying Crystalia being outed as a diddler is what made her go and color her hair like all those colors. She went and did the whole 6ix9ine during the whole summer of the pandemic. She wasn't peacocking. She wasn't bored at home, not performing at night at flipping clubs and comedy clubs and whatnot. She wasn't, going a little bit what's that thing called? They call it log cabin. Is it log cabin crazy? Stir crazy? Whatever it's that saying goes. No, she was actually expressing her grief and her depression of losing her friend by what? Bleaching her hair. Okay.
I did the right thing, and no one stood with me. I did the bravest thing. I know that now, and it broke me. It's the first time I've ever felt like I want to have. I'm gonna have rosé at 4. It's the first time I've ever drank during the day because I was.
Oh, rosé at 4. What next? I had a chocolate bar on a Wednesday and I never eat chocolate on a Wednesday. This woman is out of her mind. Honestly, what? Come on, man. You've probably got a flask like this. You know, Bert had his Kool-Aid. You remember there's a flask like this full of Chardonnay when she's going to Soul Cycle. Come on, we don't believe you. Come on, man.
In so much pain from that. But I can sleep at night, and I look back, and I know the second I had some information, I said something, I behaved with integrity.
What? What information did you have account of? Honestly, I'm going to show you some clips and some stuff, and you see what I mean, because this is absolutely hilarious, because I was there at the time. I remember everything that was happening. And, if anything, anyway, let me just...
And that's, if we don't have that, you have nothing. I don't have to move through the world with shame or guilt, and I see a lot of people...
Yo, she got long fingers, isn't it? She got some long ass fingers, man. She got those what's that basketball player? That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? Jabbar, right? There's a picture of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think like doing that basketball pose, he's pointing at somebody, and people were saying, "Oh my god, look how long his fingers are." And Kawhi Leonard, right? Like really long fingers, like just god damn it, bro. Them prostate things, like.
Or guilt. And I see a lot of people in our community that are kind of like manic around me and weird with me. And I'm like, yeah, because you.
Maybe they're weaning themselves off from whatever you've been taking, innit? Who knows?
You can't look me in the eye because you didn't do the brave thing, and you didn't stand behind me, and you know you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so this woman's clearly off her rocker, right? Because this whole bravery, outstanding behind people's back thing is gobbledygook. Personally, and again, I'm somewhat conflicted when it comes to sort of stuff.
And that's okay. I didn't need anyone to. It was whatever. It was what it was. But I think that.
There you go. I'm somewhat conflicted when it comes to this sort of stuff because I was one of the people who was a little bit critical when Callen went through what he went through, Dillon went through what he went through, and Joe Rogan basically pretended that those guys didn't exist. Even to this day, I don't think he's uttered, Chris D'Elia's name in a good way. Callen, he has obviously had him back on the pod during the fight companion, not solo, but still, it took a long time for him to acknowledge anything about Callen when he got accused of rape. So I found that a little bit gross. And the only reason I found it gross, which is not my business, was because those guys, for the most part, for the best part of a year plus, were like talking about cancel culture ad nauseum. It was getting really annoying. Cancel culture was like COVID before COVID on Joe Rogan podcast. He talked about it all the time. Any slight instance of somebody getting fired for not obeying the rules of where they worked, they jumped on it, or they interviewed a person or whatever. It was just a really, really cringe thing, to the point where I was thinking, are people getting involved in these arguments and these debates with people randomly and having these culture war things so Joe Rogan can potentially have him on the show? Like, I didn't really understand what was going on. It's really, really bizarre to me. Anyway, that happened. And I kind of was a bit annoyed. It's like, oh, why is he not flipping commenting on the Callen stuff? But then a part of me thought, you know what? Actually, maybe he can't comment, obviously, because he has to look after his family. And I think at that time, the Spotify deal was happening. But also, imagine if you actually did know and you just turned a blind eye willingly because, some people have friends who are a bit dodgy and you don't call every single one of them out. You just kind of, learn to acquiesce, learn to ignore what you can ignore, or maybe keep them, for one type of occasion instead of, meeting them all the time. Cool. Those things can happen. But there's actually something quite good about not saying anything, just keeping your mouth shut and just kind of pretending it didn't happen, because you avoid all this nonsense. That's what you do. You avoid it. So maybe it's actually better if somebody that gets accused of diddling or whatnot, just to keep your mouth shut and quietly protest and say your piece, but just not being their friend anymore, than trying to help them out. Allegedly, there was a story that happened first of all that Whitney Cummings is out here trying to pay for Chris D'Elia's lawyer, and then she allegedly ghosted him. I think Neil Brennan or one of those guys said it, right? Or maybe his brother Kevin Brennan, I forgot his name. So those guys said that sort of stuff. Then there was all this stuff we need to kind of feature, because I don't know why she's lying like this. It's flipping bizarre lies to say. Let me see if I can find it. No, it's not that, it's not that, it's not this, it's this, isn't it, right? So do you guys remember this? This interview with Daily Beast that features Whitney Cummings in kind of gets at the core of what she thought about the whole Chris D'Elia thing when it was happening, right? So let's actually look what she actually said here. Not the virtual comedy, not this one. I think it's a question underneath here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, there we go. So you mentioned cancel culture, and I went to discuss a little bit because it seems pretty overblown to me. I don't think if someone's getting shit on Twitter for a couple of days is getting cancelled. Has anyone actually been cancelled who didn't deserve it? Are people really cancelled if Louis C.K. is still able to headline shows? And she said my publicist clause just pulls me off. No, I don't have a publicist. Something that fascinates me about Twitter and cancel culture is that the Twitter offices, for some reason, and reading statistics about it, and 22% of people are on Twitter. Of that, 2% generate 80% of the comments. So that's there. But I think humans are very consistent. We've done this with the town square hangings or the Roman Colosseums. Humans used to watch hangings as entertainment. We're a very dark species. I have this theory and I'm working on, tell me if I'm stupid, but we have a very basic need to root for or against things, and then we didn't have sports, and it got so much worse. All of a sudden it was he wore bronzer than 10 years ago, and I think the pandemic amplified it because we're all so scared and freaked out. People don't realize what they'd been doing when people don't realize what they're doing when they cancel comedians. We're funny because things are taboo, and more you make it taboo, the funnier it gets. Interesting line here, right? Interesting line here. Let's see. I think there's a bit about Chris here that I've missed. Let me see if I can get that on here. Cool. Yes, yeah. But with people like Chris D'Elia and Jeff Ross, people who really abuse their power and station, where do you think they should be in the industry? Do you think they should be still given a platform? It's sort of like if there's a journalist who is out there preying on young girls, I wouldn't want them in my industry or have them represent my industry. She says, interesting. Whenever someone starts a question like the answer, it's always going to be chatting a lot of shit, right? That's a good question. Interesting. Those are always hints someone's going to be talking shit. It's interesting because I've worked really hard not to be the Me Too police. Okay, here's what I will say. I think that ultimately, because of the internet, the people will decide. I'm not saying that it's good or bad, but people will find their audiences, even if they're curious, or if it's a Schadenfreude. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. I think I've made my stance on predatory behavior super clear, but I don't know. I think Sarah Silverman had a really elegant take on this. Can you forgive? Can anyone have a retribution? Can anyone get help? I don't think I know. Didn't she also then accuse Lucy Kay of doing something straight after? That was hilarious. I don't think I know the answer. And I think right now we're all in this so much pain that we're so much low tolerance for forgiveness right now. And because everything is so scary. The person next to you at the grocery store is scary right now. Your own brother or sister is scary right now. And if they just flew, everyone is so scared that it's impossible to think about forgiving anyone. We have zero tolerance right now, but these people might resurface again on independent platforms without sponsors or networks behind them. And the people that listen or watch, they might not be watching for the right reasons, but I'm sure people want to watch a freak out. Okay, interesting analysis there, right? Essentially not saying much about the entire situation. Then you move on, right? And you have this clip, which I think is hilarious. This is a clip that was obviously most people will kind of call back on, but this is a really early appearance, 7 years ago. What's the date exactly here? 7 years ago, in February the 18th, 2016. Whitney Cummings appears on The Fight and the Kid, and this is maybe one of the more funnier episodes where they have a really interesting back and forth where essentially both of these guys are subtly, not so subtly flirting with Whitney. And she points out like, you know, how weird her and Callen's relationship has been because Callen has made, you know, consistent moves on her when she's not really been interested, and Whitney's obviously had a past relationship with Brendan Schaub as well. So let's play this clip because I feel like this is a funny one to play to counter that earlier clip where Whitney's basically trying to, you know, give herself a hand job for allegedly being brave and standing up against the whole Chris D'Elia thing, when really in actuality she knew all these guys were creeps. She purposely turned a blind eye and kept it moving, which is, you know, do what you want to do, but let's call a spade a spade.
Good.
I mean, like when my voice gets kind of gravelly.
I wish there was a meter of how many times Callen's.
Well, she's so immune to my sexual harassment that she just rolls her eyes. I've been sexually harassing her since I've known you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great quote, right? I've been sexually harassing you since I know you. And she smiles and she's happy. She doesn't look defensive. She's not just saying it for the sake of saying it. No, this comes from a real place.
Am I allowed to tell the story of when you really sexually harassed me?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that story.
Jesus
I've heard this.
Yeah.
We didn't hook up, but we were, there was this place called Westwood Brewing Company in Westwood, and it was like this really janky, Adam Hunter used to have a room there, and I would go to try to do like 4 minutes in front of 3 like drunk college girls, and then you would try to have sex with those 3 drunk college girls.
Sure would.
After I had bombed in front of them.
El Dirtbag over here.
And then one time we like left. It was like a Tuesday at like, it was only like 7:30, and you were like, "Can I get a ride in my car?" And I was like, "Sure." And you got in the car, and I literally like turned the wheel like to like look where I was going, and I turned around, and your dick was out.
Hey.
The old peekaboo.
Look how proud Bryan is looking at Brendan. You know what time it is. Look at Brendan blushing. I wish I could have saw that dick. It's like, what?
Oh, the old peekaboo
But it was so weird.
No news.
Because
Was it hard or just?
No, it was not hard. Which now that I look back, I'm super insulted.
You were impressed with my piece, though, I think.
No, you haven't impressed
What
me.
did you say? Were you like, "Hey, man"?
No, I think I screamed and then just.
Yeah, I think.
And then I laughed
I don't
hysterically.
remember that.
I don't remember that. Of course you don't remember that. Just stick to that.
I remember that
Definitely
vaguely
happened.
We did kind of
Yeah.
We did kind of
We
hook
made
up.
out one time, but in like
Yeah.
a laughing way.
Yes.
Like I couldn't, like your move
But I definitely
is,
show. Here's
I've
how I think
definitely
it went.
seen your piece.
Yeah.
Wait, it's way better. So did you guys make out the first time, kind of hooked up, and then the next time you pulled your dick out? Because that's not as creepy.
It
That's
was
what
the
I
other
think
way
so.
around.
Give it
The
up, babe.
first time,
Yeah.
I think it was the other way. The
I-
first
no, I
time you pulled your dick out and we didn't make out.
That's aggressive.
And
It's
by the
too
way,
much.
and then I drove you to your car, which was like 2 cars away.
I love that as a story, and I love
I'm
it
right
as a story,
here.
and I'm gonna keep it as a story because but I do believe, I think. My guess is, knowing me, that as much of a dirtbag as I am, I think we probably hooked
Were
up
making
for a
out?
second. Yeah, we did a thing.
Yeah.
And then I was
While I was driving.
Well, no. When we were, there was one night we kind of.
So I like how he doesn't remember certain things, but then he remembers the hookup. But then he also saying that, hey, I wouldn't just pull out my dick like that out of nowhere. I'm obviously going to kiss you first. Are you though? Are you?
Got together, and I go, look at my dick, and then probably you were driving the car, and that night you were over it, and I was probably like, maybe I can figure out a way to get a blowjob, which you've never done to me, but I was like, man, I can
that
imagine
piece
that. Figure out a way to get a blowjob, which you've never done to me,
Which I would love for you to do to me.
but I was like, man, I can
that
imagine
piece
that's
out.
probably when
Probably
I went,
no-
here's my half part dick.
You know yourself better than
And then
I
you
do.
shut him down.
I
And then
don't
you guys
think
just were like, see you tomorrow.
I think
We've always been friends, so it
well,
wasn't
when you're
like that.
but the great thing about you is that, and I don't know if it's to sort of manage if it doesn't work out, but from what I remember of like kind of hooking up with you is that you are really funny about it.
Right.
Like you're not gross about it,
Right.
like some other
Well, I'm
comics.
not going to be, yeah.
Yeah, like you're making the person laugh, so it's not like if you get rejected, it's like okay, haha, I'll just.
Well, my definition on creepy is that if I'm into you, you're
What? My definition on creepy. Okay.
gonna know it. Front
If you're
and center.
in me, I'm gonna know it?
If I'm in you, or if I'm
I
into
hope
you.
I would know it.
In you or into you. Like, my feeling is that I'm not gonna mince words. I'm gonna be like, I want you right now. Blah, blah. But it's when guys kind of pull this gentleman thing, and then you look, and
Yeah.
he's a really nice guy.
Oh. So we're not only dunking on civilians, we're also dunking on gentlemen. Oh, guys who ask if somebody's interested in them before they pull out their piece. Guys who invite people out for dinner. Guys who maybe pay. Guys who maybe are just nice to be around and don't really want anything in return or don't make it super obvious. Guys that give girls space. Guys are not headaches. Guys are not sexually active at every single moment of the day and just chomping at the bit to get some nyash. Yes, those are the ones who are being shamed now because, these guys fuck jigs, right? And they're definitely not blockbuster. So for sure we should be copying them, right? Fucking hell. Wasn't Callen like 40 years old at this time? Was Callen 40 around here? He was 40 years old with a fucking, what's that thing called? With a Pipe. What's that French cartoon? He's got that little quiff going on in the front. You remember that French cartoon? That French cartoon where he's got a little dog. That's what Callen used to look like back then, isn't it? Like he looks like that kid. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is it Pepe? Yeah, it's Pepe Le Pew. He's got the little quiffy. He's 40 years old telling you how you should be acting. And like he's out here pulling a piece. Like honestly, on my life, like I can't imagine ever like trying to hook up with somebody. We've not done anything and the first thing you do is pull out your piece. The first thing you do. Like that is more than aggressive. That is fucking presumptuous. I don't know. Oh my God, man.
And then you look, and he's got his dick out.
Yeah,
Now
you don't have any
you're a
bad
serial-
intentions.
No,
Yeah.
you're a serial killer. Be honest about your creepy.
Right.
Which, of course, I've always
Callen
been.
puts it out there. That's
Okay, so be honest about creep. I love how these guys operate in some weird reality where all guys are creepy. There's not maybe some decent lads out there who just don't do any of this shit. And there's also some decent women out there who just don't stand for it.
why it
Yeah,
works.
you have to do that.
But you're also outgoing and charming, charismatic and funny, and
Good-looking and
yeah,
tall,
and you're
and
also
tall.
not like gross. Like you're good looking enough
Yeah,
for it
yeah.
to be endearing
It'd be
and
way funny
flattering.
if you were gross.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just love that story. And I'm going to tell everybody out there that I believe her version of the events just for me is true.
Maybe because I had PTSD and I'm dyslexic about it. But I do think we just like made out like and laughed about it.
Yeah.
In my apartment, I was like, "Get out of my apartment!" No, seriously.
Yeah.
I
was for sure trying to have sex with you.
But here's what I did glean is that you do not hear no a lot.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Yeah.
Or you don't listen to it.
I don't listen to it.
Holy shit. That's very, 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 very incriminating. You don't hear no lot, or you just don't listen to it. What?
You don't take it seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
It's assault.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I think.
Like I remember being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna have sex with him because he's not gonna
Only
take
way
no
to
for an
get him
answer."
out.
I know. I was
Right.
like, I'm just gonna do this to get like him to
But
go
you've
away.
done a really, really good job. You are one of the few women. It's probably because you are funny and because but it's very difficult for a woman who looks good like you. It's very difficult to be in the comedy world, which is so male dominated. And by the way, kind of women hating in a way. Not to indict all comics, but there is a lot of not women hating. That's bullshit. But it's a bull.
Let's double
comics,
check.
but there
Make sure the tits are sitting. Are the babies sitting? Let's see if they're
is a
sitting.
lot of not women.
Yep, they're sitting. They're both trying their best not to look down. Brendan's looking right at Bryan. Brian's looking at whatever camera he's looking at. You can just about see his eyes because, that's when the lids were droopy as fuck. Pepe Le Pew, little haircut here, shining in the light.
Hating, that's bullshit. But it's a boys' club for sure. And somehow you were always able for the whole time to navigate those waters and not only kind of make friends with guys, but not deal with all the I want to fuck her.
I never had guys. You're, I think, the only guy that was delusional enough to try to hook up with me. No other comic did. Everyone's always
bullshit.
Well, Brett Ernst one time,
yeah, me and Brett are the same guy.
But he came into my apartment. Like he was like, "Let me drive you home," and I was like, "I'm good." He's like, "No, I'll drive you home," and I was like, "Okay." Like I don't think of myself as a naive person, but I just was like, "Okay, fine." And then he got out and walked me to my thing, and I was like, "God, what a bug of it!" Like it didn't. And then he came in and he was like looking. He was like, "Oh, let me look at your place," and I'm like, "Sure." Like,
yeah.
And because when I'm doing
Let me look at
a
your
guy
place.
like Brett Ernst or me,
I
it's
have
not
like
going
a
to come in.
studio apartment. There was nothing to look at.
But guys like us are not going to come
Check
in.
out your place. Classic move.
Brendan, myself, and Brett Ernst are not guys who are just going to come into your house to look around at the fucking walls.
Yeah, someone's gonna die.
Yeah.
So I
there's one.
Jesus Christ, brother. Where's the it's got hardly any. Yeah.
One reason.
There's one reason.
No,
I'm
you've
not into
definitely come to my
architecture.
house before and nothing's happened.
Really? You want to start this?
Sure.
You really want? You
I
don't
would
want to do
love
this.
to.
Yeah, you don't want. To.
Look how excited Bryan Callen is in the middle of this. Brian's gonna watch, isn't it? Brian's like one of those like guys. What they call them? Cuckold queens or something. Is it cuckold queens? Yeah. You guys know what I'm talking about, all right? The ones that sit in the corners of the room and sometimes film. Brian's definitely that guy, isn't it? He's so happy. Look how happy he is. When Brendan and Whitney Cummings start flirting. Look how happy he gets.
Really? You want to start this?
Sure.
You really want? You don't want to do this. Yeah, really? You want to start this?
Sure.
You really want? You don't want to do this.
And nothing's happened.
Really? You want to start this?
Sure.
You really want? You don't want to do this. Yeah, you don't want. Hey, you don't want to do this on my show.
Hey,
No, you don't.
The two of you,
No,
calm
you
down.
don't.
The two of you, calm down. Let's change the subject.
I would love to.
The two of you.
I would love to take on your fucking mummy pants also.
Yeah. By the way, how about those? How about those?
You're fucking.
Look. He's adjusting his trousers. He's adjusting his trousers.
Extra from the Thriller video jeans.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have on
I'm
today.
sorry.
What?
What's up? What's up?
I'm wearing
They
gray.
are-
You have bell bottoms on.
They are
You
Thriller
have bell bottoms.
Anyway, so that point is just to make this point that Whitney Cummings knew all along. She was not brave for standing up and calling out Chris D'Elia. She did not call him out anyway. She was completely silent and didn't say anything until it became convenient and easy to say something. When in theory, she probably should have kept her mouth shut anyway. Because if you're someone's friend, especially to that extent in Hollywood, in that industry, you definitely hear the stories. So you definitely had to have known to some extent, you would assume. So coming out saying something after the fact and denouncing your friend is always going to come across in what's that word I was trying to say? ingenuous. Ingenuous? Is that what I was going to say? What's the word I was going to say? Why is my brain freezing today? I don't know why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It was not going to come across like it was going to be real. So I think she just kept her mouth shut. And then there's this article here, courtesy of flipping Pajiba, which I think is a little bit of a toxic platform anyway. But it does lay out a really good breakdown as to why Whitney Cummings trying to pretend like she's now some flipping warrior and an ally to women in this cause when relating to Crystalia is a little bit crazy. The headline reads as follows: every social media post Whitney Cummings has made since Bryan Callen rape allegations came out. Right, this is about Bryan Callen, not Crystalia. But anyway, it says as follows: it's been 4 days since Bryan Callen's allegations hit, and still Whitney Cummings has said nothing. This is when it happened, right? Around when? 2022 or 2020. Wow, it's not long ago, is it? Whitney Cummings is a comedian who has paled around personally and professionally with her 2 stand-ups who have recently been accused of misconduct, groomer, Crystalia, and as well as alleged rapist Bryan Callen. When the first allegations came out, Cummings, who had a co-star with D'Elia in her sitcom Whitney, denounced his predatory behavior with the following: it's taken me a couple of days to process the information I've learned about Chris. I'm devastated and enraged by what I've read and learned. This is a pattern of predatory behavior. This abuse of power is enabled by silence. Now that I'm aware of it, I won't be silent. What did you say? Nothing. Girls should be able to be a fan of a comedian they admire without becoming a sexual target. It's the adult's responsibility to be an adult. There's no way in my head, again, it's just me speaking from afar, that I would think that she would definitely not know anything that happened, or maybe not seen it, but definitely have heard it. If you didn't hear it and now you're saying it first time, I just think it's cap, personally for me. But hey, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know what I'm talking about. It continues here. It says 4 days had passed between when D'Elia's accusers took to Twitter to share their stories, and Cummings made her statement. Today, she has not been yet responded to the allegations against Callen, which is odd because she couldn't have been surprised by the resurfacing. The Times reached out to her for a report, citing how she previously made light of Callen's sexual harassment. So the Callen thing comes out, she doesn't say anything because it looks really bad, but the Crystalia stuff comes out and she tries to win easy points because what he's been accused of is so disgusting. Anybody that's standing up against him is going to be seen as a hero. So it continues here, or a hero, as Brendan said. The story broke on July 31st. Shortly after, we did a roundup of comedians. Is July 31st Independence Day in America? If that's true, that's a fucking crazy time for that story to break. What a horrible anniversary for Callen. Cummings was notable absence for, and still is. However, she hasn't been laying low, to quote Callen. Here's her social media post since that story. As you can see, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Oh, it's July 4th. My bad. Saying it's July 31st is a proper Brendan Schaub moment, isn't it? Fucking hell. My bad. Natasha, 4th of July. Is it on the 31st? I'm a legend, I swear to God. 4th of July is the 31st of July in my head. But anyway, cool. We see what happens. She's actually full of shit, personally, I think, in my opinion. And she's only saying stuff now because it's fucking convenient. I got no time for it, personally. And I only got a feeling she knew all along, but hey, what do I know? Oh, shit. Anyway, let's continue on. Let's continue. Let's talk about. Oh, let's do let's do Chin. Let's do Chin. Then we go to other videos. Let's do Chin. Let's see Chin, because Chin's cooking something at home, and I bet you can guess. I bet you can guess what cuisine Chin is going for again this time. I bet you guys can guess it. Guess in the chat what cuisine Chin is cooking now. What do you think he's going to be making? What do you think Chin's going to be making? Please comment away. What do you think Chin will be making? I'd love for you to know. We need the Chin. Come on. What do you think? What do you guys think? Yeah, Richie. AZ, the only guy who showed up to a 4th of July party on the 31st. Honestly, that was a real blonde moment, to be fair. When's Independence Day? The 31st of July. Oh, that's quality shit. Gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. What's what happens when you speak a lot enough? When you speak enough times in front of a camera for an extended period of time, you end up saying some fucking nonsense. That's what I'm gonna blame it on. I'm not gonna blame it myself. I'm gonna blame it on the stream. But anyway, continue. So, as most of you would guess, Chin's cooking Korean barbecue. Yay! Let's go again. Let's see what Chin's cooking. Korean barbecue. Let's see what happens here. Oh, this guy, man.
What's up, guys? Before we get into the video, just letting you know I'm giving away this little GoPro Hero 5. It's a small little camera. I think it records in 2K maximum, which is perfectly good. I've only used it a couple times, so I might as well just give it away. All you gotta do is just leave a comment, ask a question or whatever, and I'll just pick.
Yeah, I might leave a comment, see if I can win. See if I can win a flipping. See if I can win a GoPro from Chin. What's with everybody that works at Thick Boy having really big heads and small bodies? Or is that just a consequence of too much kratom? Kratom's not overrated, is it? Why is everyone's head like Brendan's got the same sort of thing? Like his head doesn't belong in his body. It's like massive. Like what size New Eras does Chin wear? Like size 8? Is there like does that exist? Crazy.
Someone. And I'm gonna throw in this little water case as well. I don't think you even need it, but I'm gonna throw it in. And then you just slap it in here. And there you go, it's waterproof. And if you're like me, someone who goes camping and fishing, this is a cool little camera for underwater footage. I just tie a string to this part and just dunk it in the water. So leave a comment, question, whatever, and I'll pick one of you guys. Enjoy the video. We are currently at my new crib. I might have put a video out already.
Nah, you can't be 40 plus years old saying crib and wearing those beanies. You just can't. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick a lane. You gotta grow up. You gotta grow up. Seriously. For a department store, but if I haven't, then I will soon. Anyhow, we're here at my new crib. It is completely messy. I unpacked a bunch of stuff and it's just like laying around. And all the small stuff I gotta start organizing, so I'll do it this week. But anyways, I'm gonna do a vlog going to the studio right now because Rampage Jackson will be there to do a Food Truck Diaries. I'll see you there. I forgot to mention, I'm also going to Korean barbecue tonight. Quarters. Of course you're going to Korean barbecue. Of course. Does this man eat anything else apart from Korean barbecue? I know it's tasty. I know it does look good from where he goes, but come on, brother. Like, open up your flipping taste palette a little bit.
In Koreatown, LA, which is one of my favorite spots, my number 2. My number 1 is Gangneung Baekjeong. My number 2, the number 2 spot's actually tied. It's Agashi Gopchang and Quarters. So, yeah. The plan is to meet up with Kev. Remember Kev from the old vlogs? I missed that.
Yay, Kev. Kev's making a comeback. You guys remember Kev, right? Yeah, Kev's amazing, man. Let's go, Kev.
That guy, Jim, my buddy Jim, and Malka as well. And Kevin's girl, and my Bon. I miss her so much, Kat. So hopefully everyone's gonna make it, and I'll probably vlog a little bit there, but with my phone, because they don't like seeing big cameras. They're like, turn that stuff off. All right, we're here. There's my boy, Georgie. Hi, Georgie. Love you. What truck is it?
Why does he keep saying he loves this boy? Like, is this how they greet each other? What's it this I love you shit? Like, what's happening here? What is this? Brendan's not saying I love you to Chin, is he? Is Chin, Brendan, like, I don't know. Or is it because he's kind of, you know.
Georgie. Hi, Georgie. Love you. What truck is this? The Wicked Kitchen, baby. The Wicked Kitchen. What's up, man? Damn. That's really good. So you can take off the buns if you eat it. There's one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world, Skis.
We're doing it, man. We're really doing it.
We really are. What did you get?
I got just a classic cheeseburger and then some wings. But it looks legit. They got like
I saw. Yeah.
a ton of stuff.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
We're gonna be good today.
Mm-hmm. Georgie's meal, avo fries, and that delicious avo. Burger. And an avo boy.
Yo, big up I'm Sin.
Forget we know you got some under the desk. Or is it cheeks?
Thank you, I am Sin, continuing the non-stop bullying of Agostino. No, there's no cat under the desk and there's no cheeks under the desk. And if there was any cat or cheeks under the desk, I would not be acknowledging it. But yeah, big up Imeson. Thank you for the 4.99 super chat. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, like,
Yeah.
All right, we got your garlic parmesan.
Thank you very much.
We got that cowboy.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you. Will do.
How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you again.
This is cool. This is where you guys do the other. You guys have like 5 different shows, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's all inside that facility, but
We'll
yeah.
find a pretty spot outside.
That's smart. You guys
Yeah.
are creative. How are you?
I don't think sticking a food truck in a car park of a flipping what you call it, office retail park place is creative. Personally, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know?
What up, Paige?
How you doing? Good.
Yeah, good to see you.
Pokemon, that was the game where everyone's like trying to find the thing and shit.
Pokemon,
Kids were running into traffic and shit.
People were dying, killing.
Like this special Pokemon's on the 405. Mr. Rampage Jackson. What up, big dog?
How you doing?
We're back at it, dog.
Yeah.
Wait, top.
Oh, he does that thing when he's around black people. He starts to like, say dog and all this sort of nonsense. Like, just be yourself, brother, please.
Daryl, scoot over.
That's why I'm gonna
man.
Titty. I owe him an ass whooping.
Why? That poor kid. I don't even think he's on social media anymore.
Oh man. Hey, look, I feel bad about all that part, but
Come on, titties.
yeah, but hey, in the beginning it was all fun and stuff until he started getting mad at me and stuff. And now,
To be fair, though, he's the one that started. He made fun of something on you, and then you were like,
Yo, why does Brendan wear these hats when his head's so big? Like, I like those hats too. I think they look cool on trendy little wafer thin, white dudes who ride fixed gears and roll up their cigarettes. They look incredibly cool, but I'm neither wafer thin, neither Caucasian, and I don't roll up my own cigarettes because I don't smoke. So I can't look cool in those hats. You just have to kind of be like, you see it look cool on somebody else, you just have to let it go. So but he just tries to make it work. Look at that little thing. Look at that. What is that?
what? Titties. And then it was off to the races.
Yeah, it was off to because
You did in front of a group of 16 other dudes who were like, titties. And then it was. Here today. All legs. First team all legs here. He is the UFC legend, Bellator legend, Pride Championship legend. We made him drive all the way down from Long Beach, California. It's Quentin Rampage Jackson on this week's Food Truck Diaries, and I'm feeding him burgers. Let's go.
It's the little walk away thing that he does. It's fucking. Why does he do that? He did it in one take though. That's pretty impressive for Brendan, to be fair.
Food Truck Diaries, and I'm feeding them burgers. Let's go.
And he actually walks away. I thought he could. Where's he going? He actually walks away.
Let's go.
Look, he actually disappears on camera. Look. Where's he going? He looks like that meme. Oh, that emoji that's walking with his heels up. Where's he going? He's off. He's off. Brendan. Wait, one sec. We got another shoot. Oh shit. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, he looks like the emoji. God, he's a legend.
Well done.
One take. Those fries are intense, and that homegirl suggested those.
Yeah.
It's about to go all of them legs.
Yeah.
Homegirl, what was a woman non-white? I don't like how he does this dog homegirl. Like, just talk normally, brother. What are you doing, bro? Like, God Almighty, it's so cringe. And also, am I the only person that doesn't understand the nature of Food Truck Diaries? Why film a show called Food Truck Diaries when you just take the food and eat it indoors? The whole point of why that show was actually decent was because you got the chance to sort of like, you know, it's kind of like how that guy with that show with the hot wings. What's his first few feasts? Whatever it's called, right? Like the hot wings basically act as a way to kind of like disarm, you know, lower their guard of somebody that's famous and doesn't really like being those kind of environments of an interview, and kind of get them to be fun and silly, especially as their faces flipping burning. But this would be far better if they just sat next to a food truck or next to the car park or something. Going back home is just like weird, or going back indoors and then filming it. It's just bizarre in my opinion.
Yeah, why you keep talking about my legs?
Dude, I like these legs are dope, man. What you talking
look,
about?
they all muscle, but look, just a little
That
fat
is
in the
all,
back.
no, mainly muscle.
Just
Though.
mainly muscle.
Yeah.
All right, get your hands off my
Gotta
leg.
make the stallion leg. Hercules.
So United Fight League is like the main promotion, and then Freedom is the.
All those LA media guys, like especially the ones that work in like entertainment and shit, they all look like this and they all sit like that, right? Like, or like, don't they? Or am I mistaken? They all kind of look like this. Either he's with the same girl he went out with in college, or he's on his like 4th divorce. One or the other, right? Either he's been with a person for like 30 plus years, or this person's like, you know, someone new he flew over from Thailand or something. You know what I mean?
The feeder league. So,
Okay, gotcha.
So Freedom Fight Night is like our AMI Pro regional show. It actually is our first fight. That our reality show, me, Frank, Rampage, and Tito will go around the country fighting talent. And if they're good, we put on tryouts in our reality show. And if they show promise, we're like, hey, come fight on Freedom Fight Night. And then if they're really good,
Why is he sitting so far away, by the way? Did he have COVID or something?
we invite them to the United Fight League.
Oh, okay. Now I got it.
My
Okay.
buddy won for Team Rampage during their very first event.
Really? Who? What's
At
his name?
125, Diarra Culpepper.
Do you know?
During their very first event.
Oh, okay. Now I got it.
My
Okay.
buddy won for Team Rampage during their very first event.
Really? Who? What's
At
his name?
125, Diarra Culpepper.
Do you know Jared Culpepper?
He's with United Fight League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
He talked so highly of you guys, so it makes sense.
Oh, good.
And
Oh, good.
what's more funny, he was the opening fight on their first card. Got paid more than Slap Fight League.
Thank goodness.
Paid
Yeah.
more than Slap Fight League for being the
Opening
fight
card,
on
yeah.
the very first card.
Wow.
Got paid more than Slap.
I didn't know he did slap fight.
No, I'm
No, he's saying he's paying more, yeah, which is dope
Like
because
the
he was the
fact-
opening guy.
The fact that
Your,
a 125 are opening up the very first card that you guys
Yeah.
did.
That's the thing is even our regional show, we pay.
Hey, yo, Chin, do you have the worst vlog ever? Probably. What is this section of this vlog? And who is this man? Why do you care?
So
Unless George fought in this guy's organization, I don't really know.
hoping to make waves, being the first to offer full medical health coverage,
Saw that.
life insurance,
Mhm.
shares in the company, sponsorships to help pay for their during their fight camps.
Now, to be fair, I like to laugh, just to laugh, but I like George. He seems cool. And again, I don't mind when, you know, these guys hang around because he clearly is a actual fan of Brendan and Bryan. I think he even lost weight because of the podcast or something, right? He made some sob story about something. So he's clearly a fan. I think this is good. I don't mind. I think it's actually good.
Our energy drink will sponsor them and pay for their fight camp. But of course, everybody comes back and is like, "Well, you're not offering the $1 million contracts." You know, it's like
one step at a fucking
time. I was like, we did step 1, we did step 2, but by the end of the year, we will sign our first $1 million fighter contract.
Oh, snap.
And that's it with the United Fight League.
Yeah,
Fight
yeah.
Night will always be the one-off.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That is amazing, dude.
we're getting there.
That's dope, dude.
It's crazy how quickly it's coming together.
The show's over, and the boys are relaxing and grubbing now. Mm-hmm. That's leftovers right there. That looks crazy. I'm out of here.
It looks crazy because you haven't fucking covered it. Why do they like just eating stuff open like that all the time?
See you either tomorrow or on Monday. Case.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Nice
Nice to
meeting
meet you,
you.
man. Frills.
Take it easy.
You too.
Bye-bye, George.
Bye-bye. That's how we watch it. It's my face.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm back home now. This is the Cowboy 3.0. Let's take a bite.
Why is everyone going home to eat these foods? That's been in his bag for like That's been in his possession for how long? Like 6 hours? Maybe 8? Maybe 4 hours? So Papa doesn't pay for lunch breaks, isn't it? See all the staff members munching, and that guy in the office, the staff studio, they look really hungry. They were really chowing down. Papa doesn't permit lunch breaks. There is no lunch breaks. You start and you eat when you finish work. We have to go home and eat it.
As you can imagine, it's delicious, obviously. There's so many ingredients. It's a lot of stuff, but it's really good. Let me take one more bite.
Looks a little bit too much for me. Yeah, because I like my burgers usually for the most part just basic, you know, cheeseburgers and stuff, whatever. I don't want all that extra shit. No hash browns or onion rings in it, and fuck off.
Bryan! Dude, so good to see you. Ah, I missed you.
Missed you.
Okay, let's go. So now we're right there, over there. Look who's
Hello. The Munchkin's back.
I know, the Munchkin. Remember our first picture? Right. Our quarters is right here.
Oh,
We definitely have to take a group picture.
This is before you and I were tatted up. You know that, right?
What?
Before, like, you and I had tattoos. When we were still innocent.
Say hi. Callen. Kaya. Reunion.
Wait, do we need everyone to be seated? Or?
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh shit, Isaac's here.
Oh shit, Isaac is here.
Oh shit, Isaac's here. Oh shit, Isaac's here. Can you give me a little more something for the camera?
What up? How's it going? This is a nice GoPro. Let me see this.
That's better.
But if you were a block over, I'd be like, okay, I get it.
Miss you, cat.
What's the thoughts on Cat from the chat? What's the thoughts on Cat? I never really had much of an issue, to be fair. I know some of the guys on the Friday Night Kids subreddit didn't like her too much, but she had a job to do. She did her job pretty well for the most part. She kept Brendan's comments clean of trolls. She was on it very quickly, and for the most part, she had some pretty decent clapbacks, I thought, for some of the guys that were getting her DMs and basically telling her to do BGL. It's not cute. You can just, you know, you can still vote and say a lot by just your non-presence, and she hasn't been back ever since she quit TFATK full time, really. So, and she's killing on OnlyFans, according to, you know, people that are subscribed to it and shit. So, I don't really have an issue with it personally for me, how she acted and stuff.
Miss you, cat.
Good to see you, buddy.
Hi, how are you? Good.
We about to get in right now.
Oh shit! Has Cat got BBL? Did I say something there, or am I going blind?
About to get in right now.
Does Cat have a BBL? Holy shit! Fair play, innit? You gotta make that money work for you, innit? Fucking hell, mate. She got BBL. She'd not look at that before. Or am I going crazy? Look at me.
Oh, it's gonna be a tight squeeze. Finally got in. It took a long ass time. Here we are, baby.
When I go back to LA one day, I'm going to check out quarters, because this guy's vlog just contains him just going to this fucking place all the time. So I need to check this place out and see if it's actually any decent, because he's hyping it up too much, man. Surely after a while you get bored of eating this food, no?
Andy's buying up everything tonight. He is.
Sponsors my news thing, so it's like I go see whatever, so that way I have a face just to get your money worth.
fucking. Oh my god, man! Like, no wonder there's another guy sitting next to him. Let's just say that, right? No wonder there's another guy who's a friend who's like dying and looking at the distance, and he's like thinking, "Hello, darkness, my friend." But no wonder that he's sitting on his own chin. No wonder, because like
Sponsors my news thing, so it's like I go see whatever, so that way I face just to get your money worth. Oh, holy shit!
who's that film? Has he been watching that film with what's his name? With Tom Cruise, the one where he plays a fucking bartender. What's that thing called? Is that he's been watching? That old 80s movie. Oh my god, man.
We're not supposed to do this. Alright, that's it. We're all good, Kevin.
Yeah. And then you take a shot, you look away from me. I'm the older man. You look away. You cannot look at me in the eyes. That's disrespect. All right, cheers. Everybody. Yeah.
Oh wow, Cat's actually covered. She got a lot of tattoos done, isn't it, last time? Bloody hell. Looking like an absolute unit. Cat's out here looking like a unit, mate.
Oh shit. It's all good, it's all good.
Hey yo. Hey yo. Hey yo. Did Cat also get the bappers upgraded too? Did she get a little chest plate? Fucking hell. She got top and bottom job, innit? Fair play. Alright, Cat.
I know, it's so good, right, guys? I took 2. Yeah, they're all good to go. What?
God damn it, bro.
Yeah, they're all good to go. What?
Look at that face. That needs to be a screen grab for another video, probably, because Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? Eh? Jesus Christ. How annoying would this be? Because I feel like this couple are starting to get annoyed by Chin's constant camera use. How annoying would this be? Like, you're out and your friends just keep pulling out a camera and recording. It's bad enough when your friends like, don't touch the food, I need to take a picture of it altogether, fair enough, but recording videos, like how annoying would this be after a while? Like, come on, man, like, leave me alone.
Sorry, Cat. Kev knows. Kev knows. Oh. This is our little nightcap. Oh, and Callen knows. After Korean barbecue, you always have to go to Boba Time, or it's Boba Time, and get. What did you get, Kev? You always have to go to Boba Time.
By the way, talking about these bubble tea things, I don't usually mind the liquid, but those little gelatine balls at the bottom, they legitimately make me want to gag. But sometimes the juice or the mixture they put on top is so lovely, you want to just sip the top of it and throw away all the fucking balls. But you know, they flipping what are they called, papioca, whatever they're called, right? Those things fucking add to the flavor of what you're drinking. But I fucking hate the texture of them in my mouth. Makes me want to gag. but they are quite tasty to drink.
After cream barbecue, you always have to go to Boba Time, or It's Boba Time, and get, what did you get, Kev?
Thai tea.
Thai tea? What'd you get, Kayla?
Jasmine milk tea.
And everyone knows, the main thing you should ever get here is, how is it spilling if it's closed?
Wow, what a riveting fucking vlog. This is probably one of the worst ones he's done in recent time, to be fair. We don't all pull out wins, but God almighty, Chin, what a fucking boring life. Fucking hell. Third wheeling and then explaining the fucking origins of boba teas. Like, just grab your tea and keep it moving, bro. Say bye to your friends. Let them have some a couple of alone time and you go back home and cry singing it. Like, just, I don't know. God almighty, that was fucking awful. Exactly. Natasha, don't watch these dogs. Honestly, it's too much, man. Yeah, but then we're gonna watch let's watch what's I gonna say? I got something else on listen I went to go check out. What was it? Yeah, let's react to that one. Let's watch this to end, because this is just breaking my soul. Let's watch the reacting to the bizarre mystery of Brendan Schaub, most hated comedian in the video. Someone sent this to me, so let's watch this and see what this is saying. It's gonna load it. It's gonna load it, and then I'll get my green juice. Come on, play, you absolute spanner, please.
Full credit to the Fighter and the Kids subreddit, a place where 100.
Okay, there we go. Just get up on the screen so you can see it. Get my quick juice.
15,000 homeless cats band together to study the nuances of the Schaub and cut the clips you're about to see. Why?
Cool, let's do this. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Full credit to the Fighter and the Kids subreddit, a place where 100.
Stopped again. Okay, cool. One more time. Let's go. Please stop doing this for me. Please, I beg you.
Full credit to the Fighter and the Kids subreddit, a place where 115,000 homeless cats band together to study the nuances of the Schaub and cut the clips you're about to see. Why homeless cats exactly?
Troll accounts. I view those people the same I'd view a homeless guy critiquing my art or critiquing, what do you care? It'd be the same as if a cat created a profile.
That's a good example.
Who cares? Even a homeless guy. If a homeless guy was just creating a profile and talking shit, it doesn't matter.
After failing to make a spot in the NFL, Schaub was a UFC fighter from 2009 to 2014 with an 11-win, 5-loss record until this infamous moment.
It's not like I was eating punches.
Well, he was hitting you, you know, but
100%.
You were flattened out. A lot of things look bad about that fight. I worry about your commitment to fighting, how much damage you're taking in training. When does damage start to show up in your life? The reality of your skill set, where you at now, I don't see you beating the elite guys. I don't see you beating Cain Velasquez. I don't see you beating Junior Dos Santos. If you had a wrestling match with Cain Velasquez, how well do you think you'd do?
Straight up wrestling?
Yeah.
I think people would be surprised.
Really? You think so? I think you'd be surprised. I really do. I think you'd f you up. What I'm saying, I say with love, 100%. I'm not saying this because I want to hurt your feelings. This is the last thing I want to do. If I didn't love you, I'd walk out. I wouldn't be willing to do this, and I wouldn't.
Schaub is also the top reappearing guest on the Joe Rogan Experience at 86 episodes, from which he launched his podcasting career. His latest comedy special carries the honor of a 1.1 out of 10 on IMDb.
I walk in, I look at my girl, Jesus Christ, quite the party. What are we celebrating? What, she into Harvard early? What's going on here? She goes, just turned 15. I went, yeah, I'll take it. I'll figure it out.
But really, Schaub sparks curiosity in his ability to fudge details and come across as a potential liar so often that even with part 1 of my first video covering 14 minutes of clips, as the subreddit pointed out, this barely scratches the surface.
Have you seen this documentary, The Most Hated Man on the Internet?
No.
Did you hear?
Who is the most hated man on the internet?
His name is Hunter Moore. I don't know.
Brendan Schaub just went like this.
I remember this guy.
Multiple employees and himself to confirm it, but attempts to lie. What does he get out of pissing in the sink?
Don't go to the bathroom there because you piss in the sink.
Weird.
What?
Did they said that you said this out loud?
Wait,
Does he piss in the sink here?
You know what's really concerning also about Howie Mandel being a flipping germaphobe and shit? I said in a visual video. I don't think Howie Mandel realized that Brendan Schaub not only pisses in the sinks, he pisses in the one specifically that Howie Mandel would be using to maybe, I don't know, grab some water, maybe wash his cutlery or something, like that sink, the kitchen one. I think Howie thought he pisses in the one in the bathroom. So I think Howie thought he goes to the bathroom and instead of pissing in the loo, he pisses in the sink. No, he probably does that too, but he pisses in the kitchen sink. I don't think he knew that. Like, no one actually told him that.
I've done it
never
maybe
seen it.
once.
Okay, but
I mean,
so that was the whole thing.
emergency.
Nobody's talking about the fight. Everybody was saying, Howie, how are you going to
so
go there?
easily.
He pisses in the sink. Brendan's talked about he pissed in the sink.
I had to pee in the sink one time. It was a state of emergency.
I'll be honest. Where was the toilet?
I mean, you gotta have a key. It's like Alcatraz. It's a dicey security.
You sit on a throne of lies. I'll be honest, if I met you on the street and somebody pointed at you and was like, that guy's a sink pisser, and then ran away, I probably would go, yeah, that checks out.
That tracks.
Yeah.
That tracks.
Yeah, the face usually matches the crime.
Admitted that he's peed in our kitchen sink before.
No, I've done that a million times.
I was pretty shocked.
I feel like a Hell's Angel when I do it.
And I still can't believe that he's...
I love how no one reacted. Look, he thought everyone would be like, yeah, badass. Look, no one reacted well. Look at everyone's faces. Bobby Lee's brother, ERIK, just zoning out.
done it. He
Oh, that's
said
nothing.
He's done this a couple of times.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, not everybody's sink and toilet is the same
so
thing.
yeah, what do you guys think? Peeing in the sink?
Everyone washes their dishes in their toilet, Stevie.
Just piss in the sink like Mark said Brenda does all the time. I can confirm Brenda does that all the time. I don't even think that's weird. That's guys being dudes. It's your place.
Doesn't this guy look a little bit like those what are those dogs everyone likes to have? Those ugly ones. Like are they pugs or something? Is it me or it looks like a pug? Look at that. You know those dogs that with the beady eyes that people like and they look like they can't really walk? And look like they're always out of breath, like, and I think they snore as well. Doesn't he look like one of them? Or am I bugging out? Like, Brenda's my boss. He can piss in the sink. Brenda can piss in my mouth if he wants to.
You're the boss. You get to pee in the sink. I used to pee in my sink as a child.
Yeah, that's it. English. Yeah, English. That's it. English bulldog. That's it. Probably even better. Yeah, he looks a bit like an English bulldog. Doesn't he? Yeah, he actually does. He looks like an English bulldog. Look at him.
You're the boss. You get to pee in the sink. I used to pee in my sink as a child.
How often did Brenda piss in the sink?
Did multiple times a day.
He did piss in the sink.
Oh, multiple times a day, yeah.
Knowing that he was saying all this about Brendan, yeah, big up Tom Tarragon. Knowing that BJ was saying all this while he was pummeling, while he was going ham on his wife in the next room, makes this way more darker than what it should be, innit? Like, big up Tyler Durden.
He's an ugly mofo.
Yeah, big up Tyler Durden. Appreciate you. Exactly for the 666. I appreciate BJ wearing all white, trying to look angelic and innocent, but actually he's out here pummeling ladies. You know what I mean? Crazy guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, like this, it was weird. Like it didn't. I think a lot of other people had a more visceral reaction to it. So
I feel I've done that a million times. Okay. I feel like only girls have a problem with people peeing in sinks. Like, I do it all the time.
All the time.
In a hotel,
You
my
know
girl.
what, dude?
If we both have to take a piss,
What happened to the thing? Why is the animation not disappearing? Come on. Let's do it one more time. Yay. Why is it good? Why is it glitching?
He's an ugly mofo.
Yes, he is. Why is it not glitching? Is it gonna stop now? Stop glitching? Come on now, don't glitch anymore. There you go.
We're in like a hotel and there's one bathroom and we rush in. I'll be like, oh, she'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to pee. I'm like, me too.
But
And
you
she
know what
runs out, like,
happens?
I'm peeing in the sink.
I just wanted to get out of here because I got to piss and the sink is not.
You'll hold it, he won't go.
Oh man, I feel like a Hell's Angel when I piss in that sink. Yeah, I feel like a real rebel.
What is he not getting in his life that sink sourcing provides?
I was at the Comedy Store 2 nights before, and I think he was around then. When he's there and he goes, hey, and he could tell I was looking at him, and I'm like telling my kids about him. He walks over, he goes, what's up, bro? I'm like, no way. What's up, man? And he goes, hey, and I walk over, I go, what's up, Mr. Sandler? Came to me, he's like, you're that funny guy that kicks ass. You're the ass kicker that tells jokes. You're the tough guy that does comedy, right? Motherfucker.
To be fair to him, it is a tiny detail that he's kind of getting wrong, but the overall theme of the story does hold tight. That he said, essentially, that Adam Sandler knew who he was, right? I don't think that's, I don't know. I think the clips make it look worse than what it is, but I think, if I'm being charitable to him, he saw Adam Sandler and he was surprised that he knew him. And the bits he's forgetting here and there, but I think it's largely the consistent story. Now, whether or not you believe it is one thing. I don't personally, but I don't think it's that crazy that he's missing out little bits here and there, especially when he's telling different people.
That's Adam Sandler.
Lies. Oh, lies!
That was a lie, pal.
There, I'm talking to Rogan. I was like, yeah, it's the highest car I'd ever have to pay for. He's like, wait, what is it? I'm like, SF95. He's like, man, I'd love an all black one. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Can the guy do it? I'm like, I'm here with the Ferrari guy. So I'm like, hold on, let me talk to him. I talked to him. He's like, we have one allocation left. And I was like, hey, they can do it. He's like, I'll take it. And just there. And he's like, you get one too? I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm the one who gave you the idea.
Surely Joe Rogan has enough star power and desire of his own to obtain a Ferrari. But no, of course, it was Schaub's idea.
What's one of the best or worst lies you've ever told?
Oh, here we go.
Trying to pick from the thousands of options.
Oh, my first year in college, I was taking this business class. We had this big paper due. And a friend of mine was like, oh, and this was early days of the internet. And he's like, there's this thing called essayworld.com where you type in and someone has an essay on that topic or that book. And it was some big book. So I paid for this essay off essayworld.com. I handed it in. I mean, clearly not my vocabulary. I mean, I get an email from the professor, Mr. Decker. He's like, hey, can you come in? I'm like, yeah, no doubt. And then I walk in and I was like, I wonder if he's going to bring it up. And so I go, hey, listen, I'm sure you're going to talk about the essay. And, I want you to know my brother helped me because it's pretty damn good. Am I right? What's this? And he holds up my paper. I go, that's the paper I wrote that you're supposed to grade. And there's no grades on it. And then he goes, cool. And then what's this? And it's the exact thing off. It said essayworld.com at the top. I was like,
dude.
Oh, man. I was like, that's the same paper from essayworld.com. He's like, right. He's like, I'm going to fail you.
Oh,
and then the
damn.
class, I never forget this. The class was going to see some movie. It was like Minions or Despicable Me. Like, it was like a fun day class.
Yeah.
And I was like, can I still go to the movie?
No.
He's like, no.
Go sit in the corner, you little liar.
He's like, no.
Dirty
He's like,
liar.
you think you deserve to go to the movies with us, you traitor?
Not sure what college or high school would be taking the students to see the Minions, but here at least Schaub admits to his capacity. Schaub also tried to get with fellow comedian Bobby Lee's ex-succubus Kalila, which he doesn't deny.
It had to do with my breakup with Kalila.
Oh, shit.
They did it.
They broke you up.
Mm-hmm.
He does deny, however, his infamous truck walk, an attempted pickup on comedian Annie Letterman, which his ex-producer Mark Harley explained well here.
And it was like, why don't you walk me to my truck, this married guy, where I'm like, and we know him, I'm not going to say who it is, but he's like,
know him.
why don't you give me a walk? Why don't you give
He's girl. I hear that so often.
We know him, I'm not going to say who it is, but he's like,
know him.
why don't you give me a walk? Why don't you you should walk me to my truck. I'm like, so what, I can blow you? Like,
The comedy enforcement guy is punching the wall. That guy that hates Kalala is punching the wall right now, hearing a voice.
why don't you you should walk me to my truck. I'm like, so what, I can blow you? Like, what?
Wait,
like,
who was it? Oh.
But it's just like, it's like, why would I?
Wait, I love that we have the same people that.
Yes, the same ones come
want us to walk for you. Oh, he came for me so hard, and we know his chick. He was like, "What are you doing tonight?" This year? Maybe 3 years ago.
I think at that time, Kalila and Annie Letterman were like dogpiling on him, and I just thought that was gross.
Now we know why he was defending Brendan so hard here. Cheaters got to cheat, in it, right? Cheaters unite. Abusers unite. I don't think Brendan's an abuser, but still, it's all making sense now. Sick bastard.
Of like, you're trying to like Me Too this guy essentially. And guess what? Joe Rogan agrees. Do you think you'll see Annie Letterman on Joe Rogan anytime soon?
Probably not.
I know.
Do you think we'll see you on Joe Rogan anytime soon? Maybe he might ask you for advice on how to deadlift a fucking Nissan Micra, but nah, mate, probably not.
For fact. And also, I'm definitely not a psychopath. If I talk calmly, Brendan, and then when we're on a private conversation, I'm going to scream at you, but you know, let's just forget that. While I'm on camera, I'm going to seem calm and logical.
There's also the time Dana White called Brendan Schaub out for his strange Hamzat conspiracy.
We told Hamzat not to make weight because we weren't selling tickets and we weren't. The fucking show was sold out going into that day of the weigh-ins. I don't know if Pat really said that, but if he did, he has to be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. Done with me?
I believe that was Brendan Schaub who said that.
It was what?
Brendan Schaub who made up that conspiracy.
Oh, it wasn't Pat Miletich?
I think so.
You know what? My theory backs up. I don't know if you guys agree. Dana White's a fucking cunt and he's petty as fuck. I'm believing he knew all along it wasn't Pat Miletich that said what he said. He kept repeating Pat's name because he knew it was Brendan, and he knew somebody in that crowd, those do-gooder, you know, fucking jobs worth journalists, would pull him up on it and say it's Brendan, and then he'd say the joke. He knew it was Brendan all along. Yeah, see, look, TJ is saying he knew it. He knew it, man, because he kept saying it. He basically, because he doesn't want to say Brendan's name. Right, Brendan's like a nobody to him. He doesn't want to say his name. Doesn't even give his name any. That's what probably hurts and kind of chips away at Brendan's ego. He doesn't even want to say his fucking name. So he kept saying, "If Pat said that he's the dumbest motherfucker ever," and he knew straight away it was Brendan. It was so good. Look at his face. He's a horrible actor. Look at. Good setup. It's like a brilliant setup.
Schaub out for his strange Hamzat conspiracy.
We told Hamzat not to make weight because we weren't selling tickets and we weren't. The fucking show was sold out going into that day of the weigh-ins. I don't know if Pat really said that, but if he did, he has to be the dumbest motherfucker on the planet. Done with me?
I believe that was Brendan Schaub who said that.
It was what?
Brendan Schaub who made up that conspiracy.
Oh, it wasn't Pat Miletich?
I think so.
Well, I apologize to Pat Miletich then. That makes sense. Bye.
Wrong about the theory. Look, Brendan's my boy, but he needs a handler. He needs someone like me around him all the time. What are you gonna do? No.
Yeah,
Here's why,
Jesus Christ.
and he'll go, "Yeah, you're right."
I was like, and I still don't dislike Dana. I have fun. He goes, "Don't do that." I went, all right, you're right. And then when he goes on the show and goes, "Oh, Brendan needs a handler," and my friends and family call me like, "Rogan's taking a handler."
My friends and family are calling me. Daddy doesn't like me no more. Mommy, why doesn't Daddy like me? Like that Will Smith scene. Man, why doesn't he love me, man? Oh, he's so great. My family and friends. What's his wife texting him? What's his wife texting him? What's family and friends gonna do? Like, this is so stupid. Oh shit! My family and friends, like what? What would they say?
I called him. I texted him. He was. I tried calling him. Text him. I was like, hey, "Are you shitting me, dude? Handler?" And then he wrote me this long thing like, "You're right. Shouldn't have said that." You know, blah blah. And he gave me his reason. I went, "I know, but you don't need." He goes, "You're right. You shouldn't have said that."
You see how you conveniently skipped over what Rogan said in the message, which I'm sure was him basically saying, "Hey, I'm sorry I said that. Shouldn't have said that in public, but here's why I said this." He probably laid it out, right? But Brendan skipped over that and just said, "Yeah, I shouldn't have said it." Like, he's if, like, you know, Joe was scared of him or something. It's hilarious.
You know,
no accountability.
Blah blah. And he gave me his reason. I went, "I know, but you don't need." He goes, "You're right. You shouldn't have said that." You're not helping my cause, dude. I'm already fighting a good fight here. You're not helping me. He's like, "You're right. Won't do it again." I was like, "Yeah, I would never do that to you, ever, dude."
Or see, he's too hurt. He said sorry and it wasn't enough. I would never do that to you. Of course you wouldn't. It's fucking Rogan.
Off the time allegedly sleazy D'Elia decided to decimate Schaub's articulation.
No, about DeSantis 2024.
You eating a donut or you eating cheese?
Well, whatever it is, you sound exactly the same as you do when you don't have that in your mouth.
Come on, Chris.
Sorry.
Chris, man, he's sensitive about his...
But no, it's okay, but we gotta rib each other, but you sounding the same.
Fatality.
When you don't have a donut in
No, Chris.
Have you noticed now, Chris doesn't go as hard at Brendan anymore. I think Brendan basically makes it very known to comedians that he doesn't like getting roasted, and then they stop after a while. Or he probably gives them a C-clamp and pulls them to the side and say, hey, no more of this stuff. No more.
Don't.
You've been practicing.
No, man. Listen.
I'm gonna ask you again.
Okay.
We're talking about DeSantis 2024.
Or fellow comedian Ari Shaffir being asked on lie detector test what he thinks of Schaub's comedy.
Do you respect Brendan Schaub as a comedian?
Yes.
And the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
So you do that History Channel show, Hunting Hitler.
That was fun.
Did you ever find Hitler?
Yeah, so he died. And
I'm gonna hope for Brendan's sake that was an attempt at a joke. Schaub also might be a joke thief.
I guess he said, people say he stole some fajita joke from me.
Did he?
I don't care. It was just funny. I know Brendan. I don't care if he did, but I doubt it. I mean, he's had fajitas.
It's like 4th of July. Everyone's like, oh my God. What is that? What the f is that?
Those fajitas hit the floors all.
Oh, it's 4th of July, see? You don't have fajitas on the 31st. I thought you had fajitas on the 31st, eh? You don't have fajitas on the 31st of July. It's only the 4th. Okay, cool.
Like, what the f? Come on. Right here, man. Right here.
Then it turns into an arts and crafts project. Another level of excitement. Tortillas, you have all these little sour cream, guac.
Making it rain with tortillas now and shit.
It is a slight bit beyond strange to steal another man's laugh, let alone one that's famous as but here we are.
You're on GT3.
All right, take it easy, Brendan. Brendan, take it easy. Brendan, take it easy.
GT2, chin. I see a ton of people making Tiger King shirts and shit.
Yeah, and by that we mean Tom Segura.
That's exactly what I meant.
Oh, horrible.
That's exactly what I meant.
You sound like Rogan right there.
Me, might not have the best stand-up, but talking to the dude.
Schaub also alluded to Dana White and Rogan's personal activities, to which he had to publicly address shortly after.
Amazing.
Do you think I'm that stupid? Let's say he was, I would do it. I would announce it to the world like that to millions of people.
Yes, you would.
Give me a little. I know.
Look his face. Look how smug he is.
I would do it. I would announce it to the world like that to millions of people.
Only Brendan could be dumb enough to expose his best friend in Joe Rogan at the time, who's incredibly rich, powerful, successful, all that sort of stuff, for allegedly cheating. And then when he is apologizing, be smug about it. As if like, oh, you guys are reading too much into it. You guys make headlines over anything. It's like, no. You said it on the podcast. You could have deleted it. You could have edited it out. But no one on your team is on the ball. Neither were you to get that done. And here you are defending something that you said yourself. So weird.
Give me a little. I know I'm a dumbass. Give me a little more credit than that. Give me a little more credit than that. I was trying to be funny.
Theo Von also seemed to be getting fed up, leaving their King and the Sting podcast to pursue other projects.
Whatever the you guys have going on. Whatever you guys have going on is retarded. I know that. Jesus Christ. Yeah,
it does look cool.
Give your wife another reason to be pissed, Brendan.
Hey, when you go
with a misspelled word on your head,
that'd be sick.
Unbelievable. It's just vroom. You get something like that. Emojis.
Hey, Martin, he's filming something with some dime piece girl, and her hair. She was short, but her hair was the longest hair you've ever seen. It was literally down to her ankles.
Here.
So they're, everyone's getting water or something. I'm working out, and I just went, "You have long hair." She turns around. No, dude. She turns around and goes, "What?" I go, your hair is crazy long." She goes, "Yeah, no shit." I was like, "That's all I got." She's like, "Have a good day." I was like, "Yeah." Okay. You know what I'm talking about?
Doesn't believe
She's
it.
like, you have long marriage.
Yeah.
Your marriage is crazy long.
To cap this off with context, Schaub just fired one of his producers like Tim Dillon. However, unlike Tim Dillon, Schaub's employee turned sworn enemy Mark Harley did not sign an NDA. As once fired, he has begun revealing more dirt on his ex-bosses than a magnitude 9. While the scorn of an ex-employee isn't the holy grail of evidence, Harley does state that he had nothing but positive experiences with Bryan, Callen, and Chris D'Elia, while repeatedly destroying Schaub.
if you're a comic, Brendan talks about you. If you've met Brendan and you're a comic, I defended myself saying like, hey man, we're fixating on the fact that I didn't text you back for a few hours. Maybe you have your priorities out of whack. So obviously he didn't like that, fired me in the group text. You know.
What's that Hot Wheels King? What did he say there? What did he say? I have a theory Mark may have cooked this up to get his girl in the spotlight. What? So what? I don't know. What will be the reason? So that they could both get what? Like viral on the Frighten the Kids subreddit? Or like on Reddit in general? Like what will be the point of that? That's fucking wild if true, to be fair. I don't think so, to be fair, but if that is to be fair, if that did happen, like what? I don't know. That's an insane theory. I didn't hear that one. I don't know. What will be the point though? Isn't he the only one trying to pursue some sort of career as a media person? She isn't really, for the most part. Well, I can see. She just looks hot in pictures. So I'm assuming she probably does influencing shit. God damn it, man. That's weird.
Said he was going to pay me for the month of February, has not done that.
Cool. And he didn't pay you, which is like the worst thing he did.
Yeah. The things wrong with Brendan and his Instagram and why he's really frustrated trying to get new followers because he's been stuck at 1.2 million, you know, he says for like 6 years because he bought a bunch of followers probably, but like he just doesn't focus on good content. He thinks he's entitled to likes and views and all this stuff, and it's like,
how damaging was the Gringo Poppy to Schaub's reputation / views?
It was damaging to his views because he bought several 100,000 views on the Gringo Poppy in order to reach 1 million, and that's real, man.
Is that true? Is that a fact?
That's 100% factual. Brendan Schaub bought, I'm guessing, like 300 to 400,000 views, because remember it was around like 600,000, and he wanted it to get like, it's seemingly his only goal, his only metric of success, and it wasn't about reception. Fudge the number somehow, like, oh, I got 1 million views. You know, he's brag, oh, it's almost at 2 million views. No, it's not. It's at 1.6 million views, and also like, you know, 300 to 400,000 views are paid for. And you know what that does to your channel? I don't know if you know anything about the algorithm and how buying followers and views you up, but it his whole channel, because then the algorithm's like, wait, who's watching this? He lies constantly. There's not a single person in this guy's life who he tells the truth to.
You know what I find interesting though, the similar between Brendan and DSP. I don't think he's lying anymore now. I think he's believed the delusion so much as part of his truth. That's how bad it's got. So there will be no come to Jesus moment for Brendan, really, for the most part, in the same way DSP won't. They're just the way they are forever and ever, basically.
His family included.
Brendan historically has had a difficult time seeing the human element in the work people do for him. Wow. In other words, he treats people like appliances. Yeah. It's like why isn't this Keurig machine working? Yeah. Throw it out, get a new one, you know? Brendan is aware that Steve-O and Tony Hinchcliffe, who he has like a weird issue with, like, I mean, he thinks Steve's like, you know, he makes fun of Steve-O behind his back. He's like, the guy doesn't even do stand-up. He does like a PowerPoint presentation and it sucks. And you're like,
Jesus,
you know, you could be
Christ.
Joe Rogan and be like, he does a TED Talk. You know, it's like everything's like, he'll find a way to, you know, the mental acrobatics that he does in order to dismiss other people who are more successful than him is astounding. But Tony Hinchcliffe's one of these guys who was like, I don't want that life. Like, oh, you can't even sell tickets. He's opening for Rogan or whatever. It's like, hey, yeah, what a shitty life, Tony. You know,
Brendan, go live with me on any podcast. Go live with me. Go live with me, and we can air it out. And we can bring our evidence, and we can discuss these things that you're claiming. So I'm going to challenge you to do that, knowing that you can't do that because you're an egomaniac who's been lying about the entire situation. So of course you won't go live with me.
Schaub also accused Bobby Lee and his ex Kalila of running the Fighter and the Kid subreddit and claimed he had 300 pages of evidence.
Like the Bobby Lee, like, is the master of the subreddit thing. That was so many levels of stupid. He hires this team of fake hackers, gives them cash and duffel bag, and knowing who he went through to get these hackers, like in retrospect, I'm like, oh my God, like why didn't you do that at first? Like I would have been like, run, don't walk, run away from this person. You're probably getting scammed. In retrospect, you realize that I think to some degree that this all may not have been real, but like he's not evaluating the 300 pages of evidence that he claims to have had. He still can't own up to that fact when his ticket sales are dwindling and the views are dwindling. He won't even acknowledge like, hey, maybe the fact that you attacked and bullied this beloved comedian, that might have something to do with it. Oh, no, it's because of the recession.
Sure thing, dude.
And of course, Schaub also sued a small YouTuber called Unique.
Absolutely awful comedian named Brendan Schaub, who is currently suing a small YouTuber over jokes they made about him.
He's a comedian who sells somewhere between 6 and 8 tickets per show.
Schaubgate. Schaubgate. I'll sue the shit out of you. You know, defamation of character, stuff like that. That's even like the narrative on me, which I don't talk about with, you know, I have a lawsuit against this YouTuber who's a small time YouTuber. If you don't know the background, you're like, oh, it's this guy who's big in the space suing this smaller guy. No, I don't give a fuck. If you want to criticize my fight picks or my stand up, my podcast, that's what I'm a public figure. I signed up for that. That stuff does not bother me. But when you start slandering my name, stealing content, and creating this false narrative of cheating on my wife and doing all this crazy shit and the defamatory stuff and using content and the clickbait stuff like that for years, well, then we're not playing the same game, man. Then I have to do something. If you made an entire career off defamation, I have to do something.
What a bad move. What a bizarre own goal, man. Bizarre own goal.
Several times I've had my team reach out and go, we don't want to pursue this dude. Just stop. And he wouldn't. So what would you do? So this narrative that, oh, this bigger YouTuber is suing this other YouTuber for no reason to silence him. You know, I thought you didn't get down with cancel culture. I don't in any facet.
It's impossible.
This is different. You got to know your facts. You got to know your details.
I can see Schaub's point of criticism delving too far into the personal, but that's not a basis for copyright defamation. And while there isn't much reporting on the lawsuit online, Unique did cover the judge's decision, which denied Brendan's Thick Boy Productions.
I was informed today, Brendan Schaub lost his lawsuit, but the problem is he f***ed himself, and she signed it off, and I get to refile my thing, but it's over.
Oh my!
Unique's voice is fucking unique as hell, isn't it? Big up Unique.
God,
Schaub just got bent over and by Unique. Like, how did that feel? How does that feel, Brendan? You know, again, anything that Brendan says, you can't take at face value because he's a pathological liar. But this is one of many critical videos that Unique has made. Brendan decided he had enough, and that was the final straw. And so he hired. He did a bunch of copyright claims on like all his videos that use any sort of footage. Brendan spent several $100,000 apparently fighting this guy in court, you know, and he keeps bragging about like, I got these beast of a lawyer, Justin Bieber's guy, and you know, this and that, like but it's like, okay, like, but so you can keep this guy's YouTube channel down because the guy instantaneously made another YouTube channel and has been making videos about Brendan since. So he literally just took, you know, like $250,000 and flushed it down the toilet. And he kept complaining about like, oh, I got another like, you know, bill for $10,000 to have to file this thing.
And to cap it all off, I'm going to call this a joke from Brendan Schaub and hope Callen's reaction does not mean he just outed himself.
Bro, I was taking 3 30-milligram Adderalls a day for
You take 10? You take 10, that's a lot. You take 10,
that's a lot.
20 is a lot.
I'm embarraed.
But did you go to a doctor and they, like, for psychiatric
I was buying
help?
it.
No, he doesn't go to the doctor.
Dark web.
No.
Don't do that. Don't say it. Say that off air. Why?
Because people
I'm living my truth.
That's highly illegal.
I'm living my truth. I'm living my truth.
It's highly illegal.
I'm living my truth, Bryan Callen.
Brendan's Biden joke is at least a little funny, but not as funny as calling it CT, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, hiding from the E in CTE for the entire segment.
Unless your kid's in a sport, whether it's wrestling, football, or something like that, they're not learning like real hardcore mental toughness life lessons.
Yeah.
You know, might get a little CT, but whatever.
What's CT? Country? Is that
country trauma? Corporate? Yeah, I don't know.
What is CT?
It's when it's brain trauma. When you accumulate so much brain trauma, your brain starts to. It's like mashed potatoes.
It's called CT.
Yeah, me and Biden have it.
You and Biden? Oh, wow. You could be his vice president on the next run.
You don't want that. You think he fumbles words.
Oh. But somebody sent me an email that said, don't say anything to Brendan about his brain because he might have brain trauma.
Really?
Yeah. And I felt bad about that, actually.
Schaub is truly one of a kind, a genius entertainer for all the wrong reasons, an endless gift of confusion.
Bobby, when was the last time you did Rogan?
Oh.
What?
12 years ago. I bet Schaub could get you in. All right.
That's a good one.
Larry, how are you? My name is Brendan Schaub. I'm looking for a property in Cassville, and I see that you're the guy there.
I know Matt Mitrione and Brendan Schaub. I think Matt Mitrione was the one who actually played the most in the NFL.
I didn't know the Schaub one, so.
Yeah, I didn't
He
know
wasn't
about
very
Schaub.
good.
No.
He wasn't very good, much like his podcast hosting ability. Oh, ouch. Worst stand-up special I've ever seen in my
He's got a stand-up special?
Yeah.
In the loosest sense of the word.
His lust for training wasn't there, and I was worried that neurologically he was suffering.
With stand-up, like how do you get into that?
What do you mean?
Like, what made you go and be like, all right, I'm gonna go do stand-up comedy and go bomb forever?
Well, bomb forever is interesting. But,
bomb for a little bit and then get better. There
you go. Dating a girl now. She's dating Miley Cyrus's daughter.
She used to date Bella Thorne.
Yeah, I did probably 4 months ago, 315, 12 times.
What?
12?
Yeah. 315, 12 times.
Yeah.
TRT
did it 12 times.
Yeah. You did it 12 times.
Yeah, I did 225, 40.
You liar!
No shit.
Yeah.
What's up, dog? Come on, bro. Come on, man. I ain't to see you buff days, dog.
That's
Don't let me piss in a cup, I'll melt it, bro. Don't let me piss in a cup, I'll melt it, bro.
Connor got mad because I said that his piss looked like it could melt a USADA cup. And he said it looks like my piss could melt a USADA cup, too. And he's correct.
However, Schaub's NFL records show that 21 reps at 225 pounds was his record in 2006. Maybe the TRT doubled his reps, but the bodybuilding homeless cats out there see the claim as ridiculous. He's lacking the authenticity that helps great comedians connect to their audience, but still, Schaub might be the most genius, unintentional comic of all time.
It's Michael Chandler on today's Food Truck Diaries, and I'm feeding them breakfast burritos. Let's go. I didn't read the fine print. I didn't know it was a burrito.
Oh.
I know.
Burrito truck.
Dude, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Oh shit. So I can't have that tortilla. It didn't hurt you. Does that make sense? Well, he cheated on his current baby mama with Khloe Kardashian when she was 16 or 13 months pregnant.
Well,
Son of a bitches.
I can't believe you guys put that together.
Oh, that was good. That was pretty good. Big up the channel for putting that together. That was absolutely tasty. Very cinematic, very entertaining, and had me on the edge of my seat. The edge of my seat. Anyway, it has been 2 hours. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show. I'm going to try not to split them, actually. I need to do more than one chunk. But yeah, thank you for tuning into the show. I'll be uploading clips throughout the entirety of today and tomorrow. Time stuff will be added to the random show episode number. What's the thing called? What's the thing I was going to say? Yeah, time sets throughout the week. Time sets in the next day. Uploads throughout the next of the week. And then what else happening? I think that's it, right? In terms of updates, I don't have anything more to add. I don't think so. Obviously, if new BGL shit drops, obviously talk about that. But if it starts to get a little bit personal, or if it starts to get a little bit too, inside baseball, I'll probably just sack it all off, because as much as they're putting all this stuff on social media, I don't think me highlighting it is either helping either. Do you know what I mean? So it might be a little bit of a wrong thing to make on my step. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, man, big up everybody in the stream chat for joining in. A pleasure to have your company as per usual. If it's your first time here, you know what to do. Smash a like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Probably for another Excellent Zinger show, probably not a random show, but I'll see you guys tomorrow for that one. So be well, everybody. Take care. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And of course, join the Discord if you haven't already. If you need to send me links or something or things to just check out, join the Discord and I'll jump on that soon. But yeah, big up everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's been a pleasure. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Take care. Peace.